imagine that there's a cheer squad for Miles, like Miles, Miles, and they're like, "How dare you say anything bad about Miles?"
Very nice show. Idols. There's nothing wrong with idol shows, all right? Everyone likes an idol show.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but now I feel personally attacked
I'm
now.
just like, I kind of want that to happen.
We can work on it. We can make this happen, Frank. What's up, people? Welcome to our little traveling podcast shack we call Otaku, where we set up the hottest takes in anime and video games. My name is Ramy, and I'll be taking care of you today. And today on this episode, we have our panel of 4 judges, I guess, question mark, talking about Zelda. And let's see, start to my left, apparently. Welcome to the Triforce of Power, Andy.
Oh, thank you so much.
You got the Triforce Power. How are you feeling with all that power, Andy?
It's a little overwhelming, but I'll do what I can.
You gotta be careful with that dark side. You gotta be careful.
Wait, that's the one Ganondorf got?
That's the one that Ganondorf gets sometimes. So you gotta be careful.
Oh, man.
But you look so fresh and hot for this release.
Thanks.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. I got a lot to say. I've been playing the hell of it. I'm still playing it, as I mentioned before.
You quit your job to play.
I quit my. We were just saying that I got laid off, and then Zelda came out, and I played it, and then I finished it, and then I got hired again, and it was like, oh hey.
Oh, part of the plan.
I just was destined to play that game for a long time, and I was more than happy to. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, then moving along, we have Miles, the Triforce of. Let's give you wisdom.
I was gonna say because I sure heck encourage. I can tell you that already.
I seen your. Have we seen your anime draft picks? That takes a lot of courage to pick what you pick.
I like how not even 5 minutes in already we're doing this already, huh? We're going after this.
We all remember Galaxy Next Door.
Wow. Okay. Well, thanks, Ray. Once again, yes.
I got you, bro.
I hear. Yeah, I guess I can't really talk about it because I finished that literally yesterday. So I have some very hot thoughts.
All right.
You finished the game yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Just in time. Did his homework. It's that wisdom. He's got the wisdom going on. And that means the Triforce of Courage is held by our resident third chair, I guess, Frank. I guess you're the third chair now, officially, Frank.
I wish I was the 4th chair.
We'll work on it, Frank.
What is this, a Yakuza now? The 4th chair.
I like being player 4.
You are playing 4? You want that 4 spot?
P4, yeah.
You want the bottom right screen?
Mm-hmm.
That's a spot. That's okay. Well, that's good. It takes a lot of courage to be in that spot, Frank. And that's why you have Triforce of Courage, apparently. That's what I'm going with here, my
Is
show.
that really where I have courage?
Yes. And according to the script, that's what we're doing here, Frank. So those who don't know, we're welcome to our full-blown Zelda Tears of the Kingdom spoiler podcast. We're going to get to that in a little bit. So if you've finally been waiting for everything, it's going to be unleashed. So spoilers ahead, a warning right now, I'll tell you that. But before we get to all the spoilers of Zelda, we're going to talk about our weeks, what else things we've been watching and playing. A little bit of news, I think we got a little bit, and then we're going to jump to Zelda. And then if time allows us, maybe we got a little extra segment for everyone out there. So stay tuned, see what happens here on Otaku. So first, let's start off our weeks. And I'm going to go in reverse order. Frank.
Oh.
What you been watching, what you been playing?
Oh, man. Okay. Well, there's 2 things I watched, but I'm going to save it for when we do our anime podcast. So it was Slam Dunk and Berserk.
So you finished both these shows?
Both of them in 1 week.
I was going to say, It's been, a week, maybe 2? You've been a very busy lad.
Slam Dunk took me a little bit longer because I was watching it on my TV, which is not a shocker. But the problem,
whoa,
the problem is that I lag a lot, and then as soon as I started using the Apple TV thing, it stopped lagging, and I could fly through it. So after that, Berserker, I finished that in 2 days.
But hopefully that's a good sign. I hope.
We'll see.
Well, I guess we'll see.
And then other than that, I think I finished Octopath last time, right?
Yes, you talked quite a bit about it.
Oh, so after that, the animes, and now I started Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, we've begun that journey, have we?
Mm-hmm.
How are we feeling?
It's good. It's good.
Alright.
It doesn't feel like an RPG,
Oh.
but
That's the newest one, right? You're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard semi-controversial like takes, like, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, what's your take on it?
Well, I barely started.
Oh.
Only like 10 hours in.
Oh, okay.
Only 10 hours.
Oh,
in.
yeah.
I'd say
barely started.
like a whole day.
Well, for me that's a little bit.
JRPG.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was disappointed with 15. So the changes that they 15, no, 14. No, 15.
15.
I get confused because the online games I don't really
The bros hang out with bros or the online one?
the bros one.
Uh-huh,
I was
that's
disappointed
15.
with the bros.
Uh-huh.
15. There, yeah, I got it right now. I'm starting to remember. I was disappointed with that one, numerous reasons. I'm glad they went away from that. I'm glad it's more of a, medieval time set period, not Backstreet Boys.
Get in my car. Let's cruise out and get some chocobos or whatever.
That was a
Yeah.
Final
What
Fantasy.
if I
narrative?
told you I'm gonna play Final Fantasy 15 next week? Would that be upsetting?
I should. Yeah, it's exciting for me.
yeah.
I guess I can't say too much about 15 then. Well, all I say is that 15 was cool, certain parts, but if you just do the story, I feel you miss so much
Mm.
of what the ending does. So, have you played it?
I have not.
Oh, okay. So, not without saying any spoilers, if you just do the story,
Mhm.
the I feel the ending won't be as impactful.
Okay. So it's a lot of content, like probably a lot of like character development things that are.
No,
Okay.
not really. Because all the side quests are not related to the main quest, but they help in a way. So hopefully you play it and then you finish it and then you tell me if I'm right.
Tell me if you're right. Oh, okay, I got it. I'll let you know.
Yeah, in 6 months. All right, so back to 16. I like the music. I like the voice acting, which is weird for me to say. I'm like, I don't care about that usually. But I can tell, like, I'm seeing the characters and I like what they're saying. I like how they're saying it. I like how they look. But like I told my cousin, 90% of the characters I do not like how they look. They look like filler characters. You know what I mean? Like,
what, generic NPCs kind of?
yeah. Yeah. But so like unless you're like a main cast, it's
No buckles or anything like that. No buckles. Or,
I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, I've seen that NPC somewhere else. Even though it's probably not true, I just get that feeling. It's like creeps me out like when I see a headless mannequin. So it's just something's off.
Something now we learned today about Frank today.
Learn more and more every week.
But yeah, the story much more interesting than 15. Sorry.
I guess now I know.
It's just 15 just swung and missed a lot. Like they had good ideas, they just either left them or
just abandoned them.
It's like we forget about it or just moved on to something else.
executed them poorly. And there's not much I can say with the story.
All I know is Frank's making me really doubt what I'm going to do next week. We're going.
No, you should play it. You should play
I
it.
feel like
It's a great time. Yikes.
Yeah, like, but boy, the story though.
Also, the gameplay was a little weird because in 15 you have 4 characters, but you can only use one, and the other guys are like just in the way. Like, okay.
Well, I think because 15 is Nomura, right? So it's a lot of like more Kingdom Hearts, kind of like, more hack slash, and your buddies are kind of like more support. You're just giving weapons and they.
I feel like the buddies are cheat codes because you have like these. I don't even know what they call.
Well, that kind of reminds me of Zelda, which we'll get to in a bit. But
I was thinking that too.
The same feeling about that.
They're like limit breaks you can do, and just whenever you're in a pinch, you use them, and you're invincible for the duration of that. And that's why I didn't like the teammates, because it was just like, with you, I'm invincible. And I don't like it when the game's too easy. Also, if you hold, I think it's circle, you can just dodge any move.
In this game?
No, in 15.
Oh, 15. Okay.
And that made it way too easy. In the beginning, it's a problem. I mean, in the beginning, it's not a problem because you run out of MP, but then later on, it's like you have a lot. Anyways, back to 6. The gameplay, I thought at first I thought it was too simple, but now I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I kind of seen how it's gonna be where as you finish, I don't want to call them dungeons, but just for the sake of simplicity, as you finish bosses, you need more skills, like kind of like in Mega Man. Oh, now you have this armor, or now you have this attack, and then it comes with its own kit. So that's pretty cool. And then I'm like, okay, now I see how the gameplay is gonna, you're gonna be able to do combos and all that. The teammates don't bother me. One, because I like them more. They're likable characters. I like Sid. I like Sheba, or I call him Sheba, but I don't remember her real name. And those are the only 2 teammates I had. The story, I don't know where it's going. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, you do this, and this is the big reveal, and we're gonna reveal it at the end. But it's already been revealed, and I'm like, oh, okay. So it feels to me like an old school soap opera where a lot happens, and it's not just the main character and the main girl get married, and then the story ends.
Right.
It's like, yeah, this is gonna happen. It happens, and now we're gonna do more stuff after this. So I'm looking forward to that. I would say that this game it's fun. It feels like Final Fantasy because of the monsters like Chocobo. No, actually, you do fight Chocobos, so you could call them monsters. But the familiar names like the summons and Chocobos and Moogles and all that stuff that's been in other games. That's why it feels like Final Fantasy. But if it didn't have that, it would not feel like at all like a Final Fantasy game, with the exception of the summons. But if you call them something else,
right,
it wouldn't be like
right.
But I say that it's really fun to play, but for me, it's too easy.
But then Frank plays everything hard and everyone.
Yeah, so it might be a problem. Like like I don't know, for Miles, not to be saying anything bad about you, but for Miles, I feel like it might not be too easy. Because I have lost, but then it was like, okay, now I'm just gonna fix it, and then
it's okay. I played Dark Souls before, so it's fine.
You play what?
Dark Souls.
How was that?
Pretty hard and challenging, but I beat that game, so I'm good.
Okay, then maybe it's not too hard for Miles.
He has a chance after all.
Yeah. But it's really fun to play. The summons, which are like, I'm assuming it's gonna be the main bosses. Those are really cool. Like, it feels like I'm watching a, like, what do you call
kaiju? Like kaiju battles? Is that now?
Kaiju? I haven't played
Godzilla?
Oh, to kind of compare it, it's almost like playing a modern version of Shadow of the Colossus.
Do you have to hold on and stab him in the fleshy glowy parts?
Sometimes, yeah, but it's just, the reason I want to compare it is just like huge monster
right, the big
battles.
Monsters.
Yeah,
okay.
I guess the better comparison would be that Castlevania game for the PS3.
Lords of Shadow?
I feel like they're all called Shadow.
That's also true.
But yeah, I mean, I wish I could say more in detail, but I don't want to spoil it. And it's just, I'm enjoying it. The boss battles they're a bit difficult, but the main thing is that I'm enjoying playing it. It's like, I feel like I'm there, like I'm at a big picture movie and just enjoying all the music and big explosions and stuff.
So you're enjoying the whole experience of all of it, the whole package it gives you.
Yeah, I would say the negatives are the NPCs. It doesn't feel like classic RPG, Final Fantasy RPG. And that's it. Oh, and too easy.
Too easy.
Yeah. So, but other than that,
we should put like a thing down below. But Frank plays everything hard. Everyone.
Maddening. He loves maddening on Fire Emblem.
Plays Zelda with 3 hearts.
He plays Zelda with 3 hearts. Right. This is the Frank I know.
So yeah, I wish all of you would play it, but
is it just PlayStation exclusive right now, or is it on PC?
I
You're
I think it's only on PlayStation, to my
Yeah.
knowledge. I want to say, though. I think Microsoft said the other day, like, "Oh, we're gonna get Final Fantasy
Well,
over here."
Microsoft have a lot of things.
Well, I mean, they eventually. I mean, hey, they put 13 on that sucker, didn't they?
Once the Activision deal goes through, man, that's or when the Activision deal goes through, that's when the money comes in.
That's all the Final Fantasy bucks come rolling in.
One last thing I want to say about it, just in case somebody was thinking of playing it. It is like adult content. So I was surprised. Yeah, like
A lot of sex and drugs.
Like there's a sex scene.
Okay.
And they how do you call it? Like they don't show any nudity, but they're like
boo.
I mean, it's like partial nudity.
Mhm.
Partial.
Like it's kind of like they're naked, but like my arms covering
Okay.
and stuff like that, and they're like in bed, so it's like
implied.
Well, I don't think they're implying. I think they're showing it.
Well, but like it's not like like kind of like the aftermath.
I guess like I guess what's underneath the sheets it's implied, but but you can pretty much. So yeah.
Mommy and Daddy, what are they doing?
They're wearing full suits and dress. They're
they're
fully clothed.
They're wrestling. They're wrestling.
Yeah.
So and then they cuss a lot, and then basically if you're gonna play it and don't play it like in front of your grandma or something.
Grandma, come check this new Final Fantasy out.
Oh, I've been waiting for this one.
It's gonna be the good one. I love the boys band last one. Is Sora in this one?
Oh, grandma.
Oh, grandma.
So yeah, I would say play it, just not in front of anybody.
Not the children.
Not in front of children and grandmas.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm sorry, you can't play up to 15 after that. You can't play 16 anymore.
Alrighty.
sneak it in.
Little surprise for them, everyone. All right, so Frank's done. Let's pass it on to Andy.
Oh,
Andy.
you're jumping across?
The pond here.
Oh, man.
Seeing what Andy's up
Threw
to.
me off.
Surprise.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, today, I'm still playing Zelda a lot. I know I don't want to cut into the actual conversation, but if I'm honest to God, what I've been playing, it's like, yeah, a lot of Zelda still. I'll just kind of get in that mood, and I'm like, I know I beat Ganondorf, and I'm good, like everything's fine, but I'm just like, oh, I want to go see what I missed. I think because I was saying, I think I said that maybe a couple weeks ago that I felt like I had Breath of the Wild FOMO. Where like I finished the game, I'm like, oh, I didn't find anything about the dragons. I didn't really do any of that. So this time I was just like, I'm gonna go everywhere they're telling me to go in the game. Like, just try to find as many quests or whatever or shrines as much as I can that I didn't. And the fact that the game is just good makes it that much nicer to just keep playing because it's a good game. But yeah, that being said, I'll save that for the conversation. Other things. Oh, did you guys watch Jury Duty?
Jury Duty?
Jury Duty. Have you heard of that show?
I have not.
Oh, I was gonna say I avoid Jury Duty.
No, it's a
do
show.
my best to
It's a
get out of
show.
it.
So it's actually pretty funny. It's the show is called Jury Duty. It came out maybe like 2 or 3 months ago. But basically the premise is there's this guy on jury duty and he's a juror, obviously. And he's doing like a normal, I guess what you would say a normal court case, but everyone else is actors. Like everyone else so it's like candid camera, but also like because like they're all actors and they're doing like crazy weird things and weird things are happening.
With the one guy,
he's like the one guy that's like just like a normal guy.
Is this like the movie? What's the Truman?
Yeah,
Show?
it's like
Truman Show?
It is like Truman Show where they're like there's moments. I don't want to say too much because I think it's really funny. It's really good. I think it was made by
What's it on?
Amazon. Yeah, Jury Duty. It's on Amazon. So if you have Prime, you should be able to watch it.
Right.
Sponsored by Amazon.
Yeah, and it's 8 episodes, 30-minute episodes, so it's really easy to get through. You don't feel like you're like oh, I gotta watch like a 12 series show with like an hour and a half episodes season opener or whatever.
Oh, I could finish it tonight.
Yeah, you could. You really could.
I mean,
But,
why not?
Yeah, so yeah, the basic premise is one guy's on jury duty, everyone else are actors. Like even like when they leave, like so they do a I guess the quarantining. So like it's like so that
like a court case. This,
court case.
So
Yes.
what they call it, sequestering.
Sequestering, yeah, not quarantine, sequestering. So they do that to kind of
That was 2
help-
years ago, Andy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. To help with the illusion. So like obviously that way he can't find out things as crazy things are happening to him. But that's all I'll say.
I get it.
It's really good. I did see some like I was like how everyone should love the show, and I saw some negative reviews. I'm like what? It's really funny. It's good. Yeah, it's just like a candid camera reality show, but there's fun twists in it. I recommend it. I lost my train of thought. No, but that's it. Yeah,
all I know is I hope that the word person is in there at least gets credit for jury duty at least at the end of it.
Yeah, no, it's
at least.
Well, I don't want to say anything. I don't want you guys.
You got
guys
candid camera. Oh, by the way, you have jury duty next week.
Yeah, by the way, you got to do this all over again.
There's a lot of
For
like
real
crazy
this time.
things where like they. I don't want to say. I'll let you guys watch it.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just like it's like Truman Show, but like he's on jury duty. Think of it like that, and he doesn't know that he's.
And because I legally have to, because the last time we mentioned a Jim Carrey movie, is Sonic in this thing or no? No Sonic?
Oh my God, no! I think it gets referenced.
All right.
I swear to God.
Now
I
it's moving up to
swear
the
to God,
list.
Sonic gets referenced on. I swear on the Bible.
Hey Judge, can we hurt this? Cause I gotta go fast.
No, there's a thing you'll like know right away if you watch it. You'll know why. Like you'll be like, oh, like the second like you don't.
And
Even...
I like how Ray's like,
He just walks in with the Game Gear, the court. Does anyone got any extra double A batteries? I need some more double A
An
batteries.
obscure.
It's been
Sega
10 minutes. I need a
handheld.
new fresh pair. I need a fresh pair.
It would at least be like a. No, yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That any of them would be weird. Like I was like a Sega Saturn or a Dreamcast. Not a Saturn.
Hey, Dreamcast. There's nothing wrong with the Dreamcast. Saturn's a little weird. Dreamcast is perfectly fine. I walk in all the time to the courtroom with my Dreamcast, play some Crazy Taxi, and everyone wants. If we go around, and they're like, and then all the lawyers are like, forget about it, and they wash it away. Couple rounds of that. We're all hunky dory.
You're just making me think of a random thing I want to ask you right now. Are there any good like stories or like maybe it's a podcast episode about like the history of Dreamcast? Like it's kind of because that now I'm just interested in like hearing about how it failed. So how it was essentially the end of Sega in terms of like an era.
Right.
Or I don't know if have you or is it just like
well,
books?
I know a lot of the history personally, but from books and media, news articles.
Just picking it up. Yeah.
I would argue there is a YouTuber, I guess. And I think he did a video about this. I want to make sure because I know if you type in Dreamcast, why the Dreamcast failed, you'll get 1,000 results
right,
on YouTube.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
But one person I watches a lot of their stuff is a guy named Matthew McMuscles on YouTube. He does a lot of stuff like that where he like deep dives into like whatever happened to so and so and why did this fail and why did that fail. And I think he did a video covering the Dreamcast of why the Dreamcast failed.
Matthew McMuscle.
Does
he have a big beard or no?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, maybe
he's got like a beard and a beanie.
Maybe.
All right.
I'll
He's kind of a famous YouTuber.
I'm sure I'll recognize him.
Yeah.
I'm looking up right now.
So you could Google him, but I watch a lot of his, I watch his content from time to time, and I enjoy his stuff when he does like behind the scenes and does research. So he does good stuff. So that's my first answer off my top of my head.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. That's just never really thought to look into that.
Sorry.
Hit me.
Do you want to check the monitor?
To make sure.
Yeah, that's.
I was gonna say like
Want to make sure
today we didn't do the sound test.
There it is.
Oh.
We be making noise.
Okay.
Oh, I've seen these thumbnails. I don't think I've watched any of them, but you like? Okay, cool. I'm gonna subscribe right now.
There you go. There's a freebie.
All right.
Now, if only I get people to subscribe to my channel, Sourdough Shoutout now. Two on the nose.
Coming soon. They got construction.
Oh, God, I got to figure that out very soon. September's not that soon, right, guys? Right?
Ray, do you want me to tell you right now? Do I tell you the bad news?
I don't want to. Let's just talk about anime and other things that I'm thinking about today. And more Zelda
the
talk.
Best.
So, Miles, I'm going to ask you. Miles, what have you been up to? What you been watching? What you been playing?
For me, after finishing Zelda yesterday, yesterday.
Bravo.
I actually took the time out and I was testing out was the hot new craze that is out there, the Honkai Star Rail.
The famous anime gacha.
For those of you who Genshin Impact and Honkai, the last paddle? No.
Was it Genshin? It's just Genshin Impact, no? Is there another one?
Yeah, there was the original one. Honkai Impact the Third. I think something like that. I probably got it wrong, but there's 3 other games now. There's only 2 new ones in a year. Anyway, so this one compared to like Genshin Impact, which is more kind of like like a Zelda kind of action adventure, gacha game. Yeah, gacha game.
Pretty much.
This one is going out to the stars and going sci-fi gacha game.
Very different. No cute anime girls at all, right?
No, they're not trying to sell you at all.
Definitely
no.
not.
No. There's no. Like they literally. One of the characters looks like Frank will like this character so much because she's a redhead.
Tall redhead that can ball.
Tall redhead, and she probably can ball.
Frank, tell me more.
Yeah.
You know what? I've played that game and I don't like her.
And apparently Windows doesn't like her either.
But it didn't feel like Zelda to me.
Well, I mean, was it Genshin Impact?
I thought you said that this game felt like Zelda.
No, that was Genshin Impact. This one, I argue, this is more kind of like an RPG / Persona. I guess it's like.
I was gonna say, what's the closest thing it plays to Persona?
It's Persona basically. There's no support, items, things like that, but
you have to pay to get your social links up.
Well, basically, you start an attack. You get a first strike in. Based on whatever color, because they're all different colors, like blue, white, like what elements and whatnot. You hit the weakness, and then there's like a stamina bar, which kind of like is like stagger bar, I guess, pretty much. So you hit that enemy with whatever they're weak against, till it goes down and it's staggered, and then you get more damage into it. But no, there's like basically the start of the game is like you wake up on a space station, and you have to travel the stars to find out what you come from, because apparently there's some magical MacGuffin that's inside you, and you have to find a way why you have the magical MacGuffin inside you, pretty much. So you go to the stars on the star insert the title Star Rail.
Got it.
So there's basically a train kind of like what's that goofy one, right? The Galaxy
Express 999.
Basically, you're on the train, and the train travels around all the planets, and you go on, meet new worlds, see new waifus. Get tickets to see if you can get those waifus. And then there's you got like little items like to support items, to level up, things like that. Overall, the presentation is kind of nice. It's a little bit nicer than I would say Genshin Impact is. It's a little more. I think to me, it's a little more streamlined. You actually could change voice options. So I haven't played Genshin Impact in a while. I don't know if you could do that anymore, but in this game you could change so you want to listen to Japanese, you could listen to Japanese audio tracks just easily.
You could change it in Genshin Impact.
Oh, I guess I never found it, but I'll get back to that game eventually too. But the nice thing with this game just started like a year ago, so there's not much content like Genshin Impact. There's a lot of it's like starting like a game that has like a bunch of content you have to get there. It's a kind of like, I wouldn't say a slog, but it's a lot of content to go through before you get to where everyone else is at, right? Well, this game, it's like, I think like version 1.2 just came out, which is like, I guess supposed to show the first new planet, I guess. So, because every version that's like usually it's a new planet of this planet, we're gonna go here and do adventures, things like that. But overall, my experience so far it's pretty good. It's over the mechanics are kind of the same. There's you could do a single attack, and that's charged up against like your I guess you call it like a stamina, not stamina, like your MP, I guess, or points or whatever. Or you could switch and you could do like a strong attack, and that takes your health, your MP away, I guess. But overall, it's fun. I just got to the first planet, which is a frost planet, classic, Hoth or whatever you want to call it.
So you actually explore like Mass Effect, like running around new planets?
Yeah, you could. So far, I don't know if it's. I think you could jump around. I think teleport, things like that. But pretty much you just keep going to new planets, and you've solved the problem at the new planet, pretty much.
All doing turn-based combat. It sounds like.
Yeah, turn-based combat. And of course, you get you hit bigger enemies. You get more loot content, things like that. There's a lot of like things I'm trying to figure out myself still. Because there's a lot they're like similar to Genshin Impact, kind of, because it's the same company, right? But a lot of things I think is the fact that sci-fi, I think, is a unique take. Sci-fi, sciencey, kind of more, I guess more futuristic, kind of, because you're on stars, you're doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Genshin Impact was more kind of like fantasy, kind of like themes, things like that, like
Right.
elements. Get certain elements into fire, wind, iron.
Right.
So. Well, this like we're it's, everything's futuristic. We're going to the stars and kind of like it gives me a lot of Star Trek vibes. That's the way I put it. Or maybe like Galaxy Express 99, one or the other. But so far it looks pretty good. I know I think the end of the year is supposed to be the other one, the Z3. That was supposed to be more combat focused, like a fighting game, I think.
Oh.
Because they're just keep making more stuff because people pay for it.
Wow. I was gonna say, so how does the whole gacha system work in it? Just because you really want the level 5 waifu, or what's the motivation to drop all the money on this thing?
Well, I guess the option, because there's 2 items to get. So you get what they call Star Rail tickets, and that's how you get your waifus, pretty much. Though there are also husbandos too. So
check all the boxing over here.
So make sure no one's included. Everyone. There's something for you.
We accept everyone's money around here.
Yeah.
Wait, what is the name of this game again?
Honkai Star Rail.
How do you spell it?
Honkai. They can make a I think first and last one. Honkai Impact the Third. The more I think about it. Anyway.
I'll trust you.
Yeah, so you get tickets, you use that to go it's a whole skin because there's like a little bunny mascot.
Of course there is.
And you're like, well, you want to see what Pom has, right? If you spend 10 tickets, you get like a guaranteed roll.
There you go.
You save tickets, you get the guaranteed roll.
What a deal!
And then so what you do here, because I did a little bit, because it's you get currency to turn that currency into tickets. Use that tickets to get to the wife. Use it to get to the waifus. And you get support cards, or what they call light cones, which is like kind of like your stat, like a stat card, like in Persona, kind of like you use you put your equipment on it, like it increases your health, your attack, your defense, because all of them do different things. So they're all they're all rated from 1 to 5. 5 the best.
Mm-hmm.
But you could mix them together. You could superimpose them to make all of them to level 5, like it's like level 5 rate. It's a lot of stats, I guess. Like I said, it's very interesting way to go. I probably like a little bit more because at least it's not really trying to budge you with a lot and I guess there are the gacha aspect, right? But they're not trying to force you to do the gacha one, right? It's kind of like, hey, you like that character? You could roll for it if you want. But it's not necessary to beat the game with that character, right? If it's a nice bonus, right, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, I guess.
Okay, curious. I've seen these games, but I always get scared when I see you got to keep rolling and spending money to unlock certain characters, and to a point I say basically this:
I can't take that ride.
I just want to have it straight, all right? I want to pay one price, and I want to get the whole story as it is.
Yeah, but look at this character though. I think she could ball though.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
I hate to derail your joke there, but I think that's only a regional joke. I don't think anyone out of Southern California.
Oh, I know. And this is a Southern California podcast for sure. 1000%. Welcome to Otaku.
That's funny.
Yeah.
SoCal podcast.
SoCal's very own.
SoCal.
One of the finest nerds on Otaku.
You talk to people. I've mentioned that commercial to people like, I have no idea
what are you talking about. Exactly. But we do, and that's
we
all
know.
that matters.
Yeah.
Google it, kids.
Between commercial breaks of Price is Right.
Price is Right. I Love Lucy. Yep. Sick day at school.
Oh my God, that's my life.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
And this is why we have Andy on the podcast. He gets these dumb little references.
That's a good one.
Is that a reference? Yes, that is.
And here, I'll give you one more. For people who are into this game, perhaps they might say,
it's like one of my Japanese animes.
Double hitting for Andy there.
I mean, everyone will get that, right, Frank?
Frank is definitely a big Metal Gear Solid fan, right, Frank?
I need to get to that.
I feel like that's still. I feel like
now
you
on the
like
list.
it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I was gonna play. Ray let me borrow it once, and for some reason,
Just didn't happen.
I don't know what it was, because I think it was I put it in too hard and didn't get past the first. Literally.
Oh, you tried. Okay, gotcha.
Does it start with Like he swims.
Yes.
Yes, that is the original Metal
and then
Gear.
you hide behind a crate.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I got.
That elevator's really tricky, folks. Really tricky.
No, I mean, when you're new, it's kind of.
It's out there. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
But
All right. I was
just gonna say that I like the wolf girl in Honkai Star Rail.
She red hair? She got red hair?
No, she has like silver hair.
All right. Okay. So silver hair, second choice.
Yeah,
all right.
she's I guess she's like.
She's tall though, right? She can ball. She can at least ball.
A gamer is kind of like because all of them have like
Gamerist? What now?
because they have like an ultimate after like you charge like a certain like their super, I guess. So and then they get like a cool like cutscene,
flashy anime nonsense
animation, like I'm gonna do AOE damage on everything on the thing. And hers is about like numbers go up, the numbers like the numbers stats go up and things like that. So it's interesting.
Okay.
I didn't really get to play it too much. I just like how she looks.
There you go. That's all that matters with Frank. We established it on the podcast. Frank's all about the look, all about the looks.
Yeah. She checked all the boxes.
At least Frank is consistent.
I wish that Genshin Impact was like that setting.
Oh, the sci-fi.
But yeah, anyway.
Well, here you go. This is right up your alley, Frank. We can sell. We can make the.
No, I just
a few dollars each way.
I don't have time for it.
Push that Final Fantasy aside. Where's it going? 17's not coming out anytime soon. You got plenty of time.
Between reviewing all these animes and I don't have time.
Ahmed, more I think about it, the only downside of these games, I guess, is that sometimes when that what they call the banner, which is pretty much get this character for a limited time. If you don't get this guy, good luck getting him again. So so it's like
don't want to feel the
but it's like
Famofu's the goddamn banner. I keep doing that every time. I always say that Famofu. God damn it.
No, it's like this see this character now. If you don't spend for her now, I don't know if she'll come back again until later on. So you kind of have to you need to try to get her now because I don't.
She might disappear.
Limited time only.
Along with your Fortnite dances. Well, Optimus Prime Goku might be gone after the season.
You want to be with your friends say, "Oh, you didn't got her."
Don't you want Goku to do that sick dance? Oh, I don't want to be left out.
Goku flossing.
No, which reminds me real quick.
Goku with a gun. That thing he's most famous for.
I guess maybe we'll get to the news part because there is now Futurama stuff in Fortnite now.
Sure, why not?
And I went like,
at least that kind of makes a little bit more sense.
And I go like,
yeah.
Should I go in? I don't know.
Makes more sense than like half of anything else they've put in that fucking game.
Goku with a gun. That's how I defeated Frieza Goten with a gun.
Well, you can do the Kamehameha in that game.
Well, there you go. That helps.
It's an item you can pick up.
But then you also can solve the final debate between Naruto and Goku. Who will win?
That's true.
There you go. Someone has to solve it. In Fortnite, thank God for Fortnite. They're answering the biggest anime questions out there. All right, for myself, for our weeks.
Oh yeah, you haven't gone.
I haven't gone yet. I know it's been. And in all fairness, I really don't have much to say. So what do I have to say? I guess basically the little free time I've had, I've been busy. A lot of things happening at work recently, so I haven't had a lot of free time. Oh, two things actually. So I'll start off with the easy one. And the first thing and I just finished it yesterday, was the reboot camp of Advance Wars 2 that came on the Switch a few months ago. Because I played the first game, but I took a little bit of a break in between for Zelda. And now that Zelda's finished, I finished the second campaign of Advance Wars 2 on the reboot camp. And it's still pretty much the same game I remember and enjoy. It still bums me out a little bit that they very much here's $10 to make this game. I'll make the best you can with this $10. You're not going to get a penny more out of me. So it kind of hurts a little bit with some animation and like dialogue. And I think I mentioned before on the podcast where I kind of wish there was a little bit more of that, and I kind of expected these days to have like fully voice acted because it's not like a lot of dialogue to begin with. So it feels like we already got these people in the recording booth. Why don't have them do a couple more lines for another hour, and we have the whole game voice acted? But
interesting.
They just didn't do it, and so it's a bit of a bummer. But the gameplay is still the same good gameplay. I like the aspect in this version of the game, if there's something you missed, because in this game there's like a secret lab that you have to uncover, and there's like an extra bonus mission that you can do, but you have to know where to go to find it. And luckily in this version, you can just go back to the map and replay it and unlock that mode. While the original, you have to replay the whole campaign again.
Oh, wow.
To get that far. So that's a one, improvement, yes, from the original. And I just wish there was a little bit more stuff like that because, we've had 20 years to sit down and think about, how can we make this game better?
Right.
And they said, no, here's $10. Let's just stick to what we did all those years ago and call it a day. Because I kind of wish there was a little bit of an option to like go back a turn or do this or do that. They let you restart a whole turn, but it's like maybe I made a quick little mistake and I want to just go back and fix it. It's like you can't do that here, or at least through proper Nintendo methods, you can do that. Let's just say perhaps I've replayed Advance Wars 2 with similar technologies, perhaps.
What?
Enhanced methods, I believe Miles put it once upon a time.
Advanced methods.
Now, the only question to ask you is, do you think that this game's sold enough to make like Dual Strike, probably, or probably no?
I'm going to say no. Despite I really wanted to. I just assume people don't care about this franchise as much as I do. I mentioned before, I think it was the very first podcast we talked about our favorite games, and Dual Strike was one of my favorite games I listed in that. And I would love a fresh version of Dual Strike, and I'll even take Days of Ruin too.
All I know is I won't, because Ray beats all the time playing Dual Strike.
The Wombo combo.
Was it
good
Grit?
stuff.
No, Max and Grit.
Max and Grit. Mm-hmm.
I have nightmares, people. I have nightmares. Well, back to back. Oh, it's time for my super. Oh, it's time for my super. And you're just like, no.
That's so good. I want there to make it, but I just don't see it at the moment.
I feel like they would do a Prime Echoes before they do that.
Yeah.
They would remake. They would do that, or they would do Wind Waker put on the Switch before they even think about doing that.
I agree, sadly. Sadly, I agree. But yeah, so still overall a good game. If those who haven't checked out, you should check it out. If you're a strategy fan, if you're a Fire Emblem fan, you should really check out the Advance Wars Reboot Cam. And then the other thing I've dabbled only a little bit, wish I could have got a chance to play a little bit more, but I'm a very silly stickler when it comes to my Resident Evil games, because I finally started playing the Resident Evil 4 remake, and in my mind it's like, I have to play it in the dark. Gotta be nighttime. It's gotta be spook. Turn off all the light.
I know what you mean.
Despite I know it's not that scary. It's Resident Evil 4. It's not that. It's more action oriented than scary. But my brain goes, It's a new Resident Evil here. Turn off the lights like in the back in the day. Here we go. Here come the dogs to the windows. The jump scares. Here we go. And so overall, if it isn't obvious, I've played Resident Evil 4 quite a bit. I enjoyed it. There's a reason why it's one of the most influential games of all time. And I was hesitant. I think I talked about it before. But we had Paul on the podcast a while back and talked about my hesitation of like, oh no, here we go. Going to remake a classic that doesn't need to be remake. What are we doing?
Right.
But overall, it's feeling pretty good. It's they looked at the game and said, okay, how do we tell this story in a little bit more of a modern day setting and just better story techniques? Because I'll admit the original Resident Evil 4, there's a story there, but it's very like just, oh, I guess this is happening now. And then this is also what's happening. It's just here's dumping exposition. It's not like you're just going through it and watching the story unfold in front of you. While on this time, they're really doing a more better job of like, here's Leon. He's looking for the president's daughter, and he's got a couple clues to suggest the president's daughter's here. Versus the original's like, I guess she's here, and it turns out she is here. Well, cool. He was right after all.
Yeah. Don't worry. He got the government's budget card, right? So like, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just charge it.
Yeah. So it is funny going back and I always knew that, but just to think about it and seeing the new version, like, oh, good. They kind of like patched it up a little bit, filled in the story beats here and there, and transition pretty well between the segments of like the village and like the squire early on, and then when you get to like the foothills in the village with the sniper rifle. So it's a pretty good job of their shuffling and being like, oh, we understand what's the good parts about the original game and how do we bring it to this game and shuffle the cards just a little bit to keep it refresh. So I'm pretty early on. I'm still in the village. I haven't gotten to the lake yet for those who have played Resident Evil 4. I look forward to see what changes might happen along the way. They introduced certain characters a little bit early on, a little bit more naturally, so that is a good plus. And I'm curious to see, once again, narratively stuff, what they do to it, because I always thought it was a little weird with the reveal. I'm going to spoil a 20-year-old plus game.
Yeah, you can say it.
When everyone grab the chairs. Hold on now. Hold on.
Put the warning button.
Cover your ears, Frank. Put the
warning button.
Wait.
We cannot say it if you.
You want me to play this game?
Well, I don't know. Do you want to play it, Frank?
I think if there's demand.
if the people want me to play it, I'll play it.
Oh yeah, because I was talking about like you're like, oh, you should watch my recommendations. I'm like, what? So if you recommend it, I'll play it.
I mean, it's a good game. I do recommend. It's a very good game. You're not a big action guy though, are you, Frank?
I like Raider.
Tomb Raider. Okay. Well, a little bit.
The only thing with me is that that problem with Resident Evil games because I'm fine, cool everything fun zombies, the zombie dogs, yeah, but then there's spiders. I went, now I'm out. No, I'm
Can't do the
out.
spiders. Can't do the
Interesting.
spiders.
No, sorry. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. I tip my cap. I'll see you later.
Well, there's like a spider in every Resident Evil game, right? You right? Have you played? So you don't play Resident Evil games?
Pretty much.
The last time I seen Ray play it once, and when the spiders show up, I turn my glasses off. I turn my glasses off. I go, cool. Yeah, I can't see shit. No, it's fine. No, yeah, no.
I don't know what you're shooting at, but you're sure doing a good job.
Yeah, he got him really good. Okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
Why is it climbing up the wall? I do not care. No. Do you want to find out? No, I do not.
All right. So anyway, I guess I'll save that spoiler. But for those who know, when a spoiler version, when a certain character reappears in that game, I always found Leon's reaction to be very weird in the original. So I'm curious to see his reaction in this remake.
Okay.
So I'm curious to see what happens there. But the mechanics, the graphics, everything just looks pretty top notch and it feels right. And so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully I get a chance to play a little bit more in the future, though the downside is I tend to work at night, so to have time to have free time at night is difficult. But the nerd in me refuses to play it during the sunlight. I refuse to play my Resident Evil.
So we just close the blinds around here. Or,
it's not good enough. I know the sun's out there.
Put you down in the basement down there or something like that.
You got to change all the clocks around me to trick me. Be like, well, it must be midnight. Oh,
yeah,
don't mind if I do.
The time doesn't change once it's like the midnight hour.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
It's the only way to get it going. And I guess the one last thing is just because I said the Midnight Channel and me and doing my streaming stuff I mentioned last time, and the fact I was trying to play Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the computer.
How that went out?
Well, we had a good time until perhaps technological difficulties of running through enhanced methods became a problem, perhaps.
Interesting.
So yeah, that was a bit of a bummer, but I think I'm gonna play it safe. But Sonic fan, I enjoy the game, and I talked about it on the stream. Maybe eventually I'll put out the little video I can of it. Just the fact of all the memories and nostalgia I have of that game, playing it over and over again on the Dreamcast days. So it's fun to revisit. I haven't played it in like 20 years, so it's fun to go back to the early levels on. And just the fact that hopefully my next playthroughs will be a little simpler, and I think I'm just gonna play something on the Switch and go back to my evil Nintendo rival Mario Sunshine on the GameCube, but we're gonna play the Switch official release.
It's a good game. I'll stand by it.
You would say it might be a remake.
It might. We'll see. We'll see how that. I know a lot of people have a hate on Sunshine. I've always been those one of the people that's kind of like in the middle of like, I know it's still 64, but it's not as bad as people a lot of make out to be. So I am curious to go back to it and see how it holds up. I know Andy.
I like it. I played it a couple of years ago when that 3D release.
The music's still good. The
music is so good.
That's true. There's no debate about that one.
They fucking killed it with that one. That soundtrack.
So if you're curious, you want to see me in my anime forum, check me out. Sourdough Shonen on Twitch.
In my form, it's not my real form.
It's not my final form. We're getting there just yet. So yeah, I'm doing that on Wednesdays and Friday night / midnight on Saturdays. So there you go. That's the last plug-in for me. So without further ado, let's move on to, I think maybe we have a little bit of news from Miles for this week of the podcast.
Well, just like 1 or 2 quick hits here.
Hit me.
So like for me, the one that I guess kind of saddens me is been Tencent. Bought Visual Arts, which owns Key, which owns Clannad, all the other visual novels. They bought. Tencent acquired them this week. So yet another cog in the inevitable Tencent machine once again.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
Let's see what else. I think that was it. The only I think they announced they're making their Nickelodeon All-Star Battle 2.
Oh, they're
Smash Brothers clone.
This one gonna actually put voice actors in there from once?
the get-go.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah,
so they're like, wow, you guys actually complain about it. I guess we should do that, huh? Yeah, they said Legend was supposed to do that. A lot of tweaks, things like that. But
I think Jimmy Neutron's in it.
Your favorite.
I don't give a crap about Jimmy
You
Neutron.
love it. Oh, come on, Andy.
I don't think I watched no, I swear to God, I did not watch a single. And if I did, I was not into it. I don't know. I didn't care about that show.
You loved it. Come on. Come on.
Let's see. And one last thing, I guess, is they showed the trailer for the Ratatan. The one last week I told you about, or 2 weeks ago, I guess talked about the Kickstarter for the successor to Patapon and all those games.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
That's,
Patapon for the old PSP.
Patapon.
that sounds so familiar.
Yeah, it was like a unique game sound on the PS. I guess the PSP.
Oh wow, that's old. I
Yeah.
forgot about that game.
Shut up over there.
like
We're all very young here on this podcast, all right?
Yeah, so
What's a GameCube and what's a Dreamcast?
So on Monday,
I only know Switch. I'm very young.
So by the time this podcast probably comes, I guess the Kickstarter will be live on Monday or just upcoming to the 31st. So please lend support. We need more games like this.
Miles got stamp approval here.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for it. I got my money ready to go. Day one.
And in 2 years, the embezzlement case will come in.
Hey, it can be bad Unifune and the Red Sun. or mine never not right.
I still have a picture of me and Inafune going thumbs up and me going yikes a year later.
So that's all the news I have for this week.
All right. Gentlemen, anyone else news perhaps? Just make sure. Don't feel anyone left down.
Last call.
All right.
Any news?
That is it for the news in this week. Usually short and simple, as usually here on Otaku. So now it is time for our main topic this week. Our big. We'll see how long it goes. We're going to check the timestamp.
I like how you're checking. Is it?
I don't know yet. I've peeked. I have to see my magical crystal ball and get back to you to see how big it is. But I imagine it's going to be somewhat big for other people on this podcast. And we're going to talk about the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Woo.
So we've been talking about on and off on this podcast for I don't know 2-3 months now. Feels like. I remember when it was just me and Frank. It was just me and Frank. We were holding down the fort. Frank, remember that, Frank? It was you and me against the world, Frank.
Good old days.
The good old days. And these people come. Oh, I want to talk about something. And it's like, fine. I guess we'll make room for you.
Really?
Thank you so kindly.
Exact imitation.
Got it right. All right. So here we are. Cheers the game. So, if you want spoiler freeze, I suggest go check other episodes of Taco where we talk about it. But here we go. Spoilers unleashed. I'm gonna off the bat. Shackles release, folks. Go Super Saiyan. Go crazy.
Super Saiyan.
Let's. I'm gonna ask Miles first. Miles, is there anything you particularly want to talk about? Anything since I think you feel like the most recently beaten this game. How do you feel about Tears of the Kingdom?
Where did I begin here? I'm trying to think.
The beginning.
I got.
Dun.
Actually, it's fine. Actually, I did listen to Ray because Ray said if you stay at Square well enough, you hear the theme song. And I heard it literally yesterday. I was waiting for something. I was like, oh, there it is.
Uh-huh.
Wait, I didn't understand what you just said.
Well, it's like because if you wait in the Squire or the Sky, the village you start like the Skytown village next to the castle. If you wait there long enough, the music will play the Zelda theme song.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you there's quick way you'll play
Just like a little melody.
Little pieces of it.
And it go like it'll just keep going on, but I thought that was it. Interesting.
Oh wow.
Let's see.
I like learning stuff.
Yeah, it is cool.
I have a feeling that I think after this game, if the next one turns out to be another Breath of the Wild game, find that enemies, I'm going to BL because there's just too many. There's too much materials and too much things to remember in this game. Because I feel in my head, because they had to, at the final thing, because I had to get, so before I find Gandalf, right, at the end, I try and get, okay, let me get the best weapon. So, I got some, royal broadswords, things like that. And it's like, okay, now you got things to fuse it with. Okay, well, the best strongest thing is a Gabito bone. So you have to go all the way to the desert, go find some Gabito out in the desert, get the bones. And then you fuse that to the weapons, and they gives you 40 plus attack and things like that. So it makes your weapon stronger, granted for one hit. Now it is the fact that that game is a lot. I know fusing is supposed to be part of a game element, things like that, right? But I feel like when you have to keep it constantly, you have to look the numbers up. It's like, well, I can't beat this thing with a number 12 little sword. I have to attach something to it to make it strong. And you're not sure if when you attach something, does it make a bigger blade, or does it it looks goofy, getting a black moblin horn on top of this, and
right?
The sword, and just there's a thing stick on top, and then I'm gonna fight you with this.
Yeah,
it's a little silly, I think. And just the fact that I think we mentioned like a long time ago. Me and Ray talking about the Breath of the Wild. The saying with the Master Sword. The fact the Master Sword, like the powerful Master Sword, when we went like 10,000 years of charging energy, massive energy into the Master Sword, lasted for only like a couple hits and then it's gone, or it has to recharge.
Mm-hmm.
It has to recharge itself. The Master Sword, everyone, the Bane of Evil's Bane, the item to get, the thing that's supposed to save the world, things that steals Ganondorf multiple times. It has a timer. Has a timer.
Tuck her down.
I'm sorry. This sword went out of power, so you have to kind of have to
stick with rock.
Like good luck with this.
Yeah.
Because I kid you not, I think when I was trying to beat Ganondorf and I had the sword, like, okay, this is the moment. I'm whacking him. Oh, the Master Sword's ran out of energy. We mean it's ran out of energy.
I didn't have that problem with Ganon, but
I did fuse it with like not ruby. A silver moblin horn, because if you fuse something to it, it extends the life of the Master Sword. And it's supposed to make the sword, I guess, more stronger if you fuse something with it. But it still ran out of energy no matter what. So that's kind of a bummer because it's the Master Sword. I find this is the guy I need the Master Sword with to seal him, and I'm sorry, the sword's out of power. Can't do it. Kind of bums me out. I think also because the fact that if you level up too much, like the next thing I had a problem with Breath of the Wild was when I got to Calamity Ganon at the end of Breath of the Wild. I leveled up so much that going through them was like a cakewalk. It was like a whack, and I took half his energy, like half his bar, because I'm just too powerful at that point. So I feel like if you're too strong, the whole boss fight is weak. Especially supposed to be an epic moment because this guy's been playing this forever or whatnot, right? Okay, so there's the gameplay aspect. So let's delve into the story, gentlemen. So the problem that I have with this game is that there's one story, and they keep telling it 6 times.
I felt
that. I felt like, because literally I think when I got the last stage or whatnot, because you're supposed to final stage after you get all the other stages, and tell me yet again the events of the Prisoner War, yet again, and I was like, okay, like, how am I? I'm supposed to. I get this by now. Yes, I understand. There's like, the stage is telling everyone like this is what happened, but it's like as a viewer or the gamer or player, I guess, feel like I'm listening to this yet again.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
It'd be nice if they had some like slight new details or perspective that they brought into the story, but it's like, nah, I'm just gonna say generic speech.
And like a different part of the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some aspect. Yeah.
Not the same
I felt like, us, the heroes came by and we almost beat him.
We almost beat him, but he beat us.
But also, we're also
then-
pathetic and worthless.
But then Raru had this really good idea.
He was a real smart cookie,
It's like,
this
I
Raru
know
guy.
this damn story.
Tell me more. I've never heard it
And the
before.
sad part, because, arguably Breath of the Wild doesn't have no story at all.
Yeah.
We could argue that point because, it's not till the end, like, oh, there's something here. Oh, okay. But this guy, like, you try so much with the whole narrative of the Zonai, the whole thing, Zelda, things like that. And once you get the whole story once, like all completely, and then the game tells you over and over and over again about what. Yes, I was there. Yes, I saw what happened. Yes, I know. Yes, she got the yes. And especially the best part, I think Ray mentioned once, like when you get the Master Sword and you get the final stage, you're like, oh, you got it already. Oh, okay. I guess you don't have to worry about that. And then and I'll check like all these check mark, like, complete. Like, you weren't supposed to do this in the game. But I'm not. Is it supposed to be? I'm supposed to choose what I'm doing here? I don't know. And that's the problem with this game. It's like I feel like the whole Zelda in open world does not work very well.
Wow.
Because I feel like you're too busy. Like I gotta get the item. I'm too busy. I'm trying to make food. I'm trying to level up my items to get my clothes leveled up. And then story's kind of like always kind of like second banana because let's be honest, like halfway through you see what's going on. Like this experienced Zelda players, how pretty much what the story's gonna go with this. Okay, you're waiting for the moment to happen, so you're just there, just waiting. And wait, okay, is it happening? No, okay, keep going. Okay. You're waiting for that because you seen half the game already how it's gonna end already. So it's I guess to me I wish there was more focus on the story. I feel like we emphasize more because the story was good. I argue the story was pretty good. The way how they what happens between the race of Zone come down, Ganondorf, being Ganondorf, taking things like that,
being himself. Oh, Ganondorf.
And the whole thing, like I like bits and pieces of it, but the way to present the information gets very repetitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's super repetitive.
And by the time you like if you collect all the tears out already before you get everything else, you're like, I did like, well, yeah, I know what happened. Yeah. And then I guess the best part is like if you like when you go down to the caverns where I think because literally you just go back to where you started the game, but I think it's hilarious in itself. You're back what you started, and if you break down the mural on the other side because there's like rocks, you can break down if you have like a hammer or something like that. You get the rest of the game. They told you already about.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, man, good thing I didn't have to break that because that would have broke the whole game right there. So I want to. I guess next time I want a more Zelda game. I guess at this point.
You mean narrative focus? I suppose.
More narrative focus. I feel like for all and everything, the fact that you have to. Everything else is pulling you away other than the actual story, and the story's still kind of treated like second to the gameplay, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel that like it's better. The story's better though. I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah.
But I still feel like the gameplay is more focused than the actual story. The story's always been second again. But that's my initial thoughts.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, but you liked it though, right? You're kind of giving some negative feedback, but I'm assuming you liked it, or
I do like elements like certain things would happen because especially how the game ends,
mm-hmm.
in which the whole dramatic. Oh no, you have to. Well, I guess I'm trying. We're spoiler talking.
We're in spoilers.
Yeah, you can say whatever.
So like when you try to grab the princess at the end, after she wakes up. Like, you gotta get her. It's like, oh shoot, I gotta go get her. So you press to go down, try to grab her. Like, okay, press A to hold on to her. I mean, I like when games do that, like because I reminds of Kirby games sometimes do that. Like you're waiting for the epic moment. Okay, here we go. Here's the moment. Hold on. Oh, grab it. Hold. Got her. Okay, yeah, everyone's safe. Yay.
We did it.
But by the way, I would like to mention, if you're falling down to Earth. Like, you would, being someone else going down, fall straight down into the water, you would die.
It's fine. It's fine.
You would die.
I played Assassin's Creed. It's fine.
I feel like and Link's bones broke, and that's it. And they both just died floating in the water because no one can survive that fall into the water.
Very soft water.
Yeah, I guess Kush. I guess. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Any other?
I have some thoughts.
Oh yeah.
You go. Let me help you here, Frank. You got
what happened?
Microphone. Betrayed you, Frank.
What happened? Some microphones freak out.
There we go. All right, I have to fix it.
I have a. Can I throw in a quick thing before you go? Does I don't know why. I guess I never understood them explaining like the Gerudo, like why the Gerudo and Ganondorf are cool. Like they're cool with the Gerudo. I never quite got that. Do you guys know? Like
they're who's cool?
Like how in the flashbacks it's like Ganondorf's like obviously he is with the Gerudo, like he is a Gerudo, but I guess I just never really understood how they reconciled that being like, oh, like like I'll go help you guys can help, we'll go help you, Link, we love you, but then it's like, well then like why did you do that fucked up shit with Ganondorf so long ago?
Oh well, I mean I get because the narrative is at least. And here's the problem: is that this game relies on. So you've played the other Zelda games, I see.
Yeah.
So it relies you to because the narrative, at least Ocarina of Time, is like, well, was it every 100 years a male Gerudo's born and he becomes the king of the town, if you will. And I guess he's just I was hoping for more details about that, but it just didn't happen in this game.
Yeah.
And so we just assumed, well, he became king, and as king, he was like, well, fuck it, I want to be the bigger king, so I guess we're gonna take over the town. And then I guess everyone is like, well, you know, Ganondorf he was a bad influence. They kind of tease it here and there when you talk to the Gerudos and this and that, like, oh, I think because even the princess who becomes the sage, she's like, oh, well, we're gonna fix that mistake because he was part of our people, and he's a bad influence, and we don't want him to represent us anymore.
He's like they're Germany and he's like Hitler.
basically, yeah.
It was like in John Wick, excommunicado.
Yeah, just we don't talk about that guy anymore.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, that's all.
I think that's true. What about you, Frank?
All right, I was listening to Miles and I was writing down some things. I'm like, oh yeah. I didn't have that problem with the materials, like, you know, looking up for the best materials and all that. I just went. I'm like, you know, I pick up what I pick up, and
I see.
Yeah.
And
Well, my fault is that I know that if you didn't patch the game, there were certain things you could do to like duplicate things like that.
Oh.
But I was a fool. It's like, but the game's works better if you patch the game. Okay, I'll patch the game. Mistake number one: never patch the game when there's a flaw. But you know, it's not that. It's like, you know, it's like for me, it was more like going to the clothes, right? Trying to level up the clothes. It's like you need, you know, 3 Hinox guts. Okay, where I find Hinox? Good luck. Okay. You know, the problem, there's so much like different things. Like I gotta find his enemy. Where's his enemy at? Is it in the Is it in the depths? Is it up here? I don't know. But no, there's no like.
I mean, there is. You can take the photos and it'll tell you.
Yeah.
But do you want to bother spending all your time doing that shit? Which apparently Frank says nah.
No. Like, I get what you mean, because if you want to do some stuff, it does take time.
Yeah.
And it's not like very. It is like, yeah, you kind of have to look it up, or it's kind of like you have to stumble up on it by
chance,
accident. Yeah.
Right.
So,
right.
And if you're not really invested into really upgrading that, then like I wasn't, then it was too much. So for me, I upgraded because they said something that made me want to upgrade stuff. It's like, oh, you get a special effect if you get it up to for all 3 up to level 2, I think. And I did it on the stupid Killian outfit, and it's like, oh, by the way, this one has no special effect.
Yeah, that's a thing.
So I was like, I wasted all those materials, and like, you know what? I don't care what the special effects.
The fairy does say, you know, some sets may get a bonus, some may not. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just like the first one I picked.
Yeah,
that hurts a little.
So I was like, wasted all that money and stuff. So yeah, that didn't bug me, and I felt like it, because I did think about, oh, what if I get this and that, and I'm like, but I don't want to be too overpowered. So I was conscious of not making the game too easy. I'm like, okay, it's okay if I don't upgrade it, because, you know, I'd rather die in one hit.
Right.
So that was that. It was just like, I get it, but it was not for me. So it was kind of like all the powers and all the fusion is like, yeah, I could do that, or I could just wing it.
Right.
And winging it seemed to work pretty well. And with the Master Sword, I kind of liked and didn't like that it ran out of power. I get what Miles is saying, like it's supposed to be the ultimate sword and it's running out of power.
Right.
But for me, it's like I was kind of bummed out when I got it, and I was like, oh, now I'm not gonna use all this stuff I've been picking up and saving. Like I had this one sword that I had for like 50 hours, and I didn't want to use it because it was a good one, and I got the Master Sword. I'm like, oh, now I'm not gonna use nothing else. And then seeing how often it would break, I'm like, oh, okay, now I do have a reason. And I basically didn't use the Master Sword the whole game until the final fight. But I didn't have that problem. I used the Master Sword the whole fight, and it didn't break once, or it didn't run out of power.
Yeah,
So,
same thing. I didn't
don't
have
know
that
what you
issue.
were doing.
Well, I don't know. So like the final fight in general was kind of meh. You know, the final fight to me was, you know, it was a lot of like just dodge. He's dodging, you dodging, you dodge, he dodge. You know.
Yeah, it was weird.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of weird
good
back
and bad.
and forth.
Yeah.
And I guess like, you know, because we're here now. So like, you know, the final fight was like, why are we doing the final, like the whole dragon bit? And it's like,
oh, the final phase.
and it's like, why?
just so you can say, oh, I mean, it looks cool.
It
but
looks cool. It
but
doesn't play cool.
No, yeah, it's just like, oh, like this could have just been a little cutscene, but it's
honestly,
like, yeah, I think I was like, oh, this is kind of fun, but it's also just like, this feels like a tutorial, like almost. It's just like, this is how you play the game. It's like, this is the end of the game. What are you talking about?
The challenge?
Yeah. I mean, the challenge was right. Well, I think that's what you had said, like when you were saying in the, like the. I think that's one of the things you mentioned was like how like it was like the order of difficulty was wrong.
I feel like those two fights should have been switched.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then going up to the story, I might have mentioned this. I don't remember. But I think it was one of the things that bugged me too, where I wish that all the tiers, at least, were mandatory. So it's like each tier would be a dungeon, and then now you learn about it. I think it would have flown better.
I agree.
Yeah,
I can see that.
It's not. The story was pretty good. But I feel like the presentation of the story, because you could do all the tiers. Like I understand everything.
Yeah,
I learned everything.
Yeah,
and now you're just like going. Let me get to Ganondorf, finish this game off. You know. Half the story, it doesn't. It loses the charm of playing the game now because now it's like I know what to do now.
It destroys a lot of the big narrative moments. Like they want you like, and now it's time for the big beat. And oh, you already did this? Oh, well then never mind.
I think the game was intended because I think I mentioned it too, where you kind of should do the story, follow it,
right? They really.
And then after you get the 5th stage,
yeah.
Okay, now explore.
Right. I agree with you. I didn't think that at first, but I remember you suggested that.
Yeah.
And finishing like, yeah, no, Frank was right. I think that's the better way to play this game, at least narratively wise.
But yeah, that part I wish the story was mandatory, and I think it would have done better. Also, getting the Master Sword should have been like it should have been blocked until the end, and then that way,
I had a weird situation with that too. Yeah,
and then that way they wouldn't have to like nerf it so much because they're like, now you've done everything, so we don't care if you're overpowered now.
Yeah, true.
So I think that would have just done things a little, but I get it because they did focus more on the gameplay and they wanted people to be free.
Right, make choices, do this, do that.
But
and also not have choice at the same time.
Freedom comes at a price.
Apparently it does. Apparently it does.
Let me see. Oh yeah, that dragon fight. I think I mentioned this already. I don't like how the dragons look.
Oh, interesting.
You mentioned this, and I'm still like, sure.
They just
my issue is you can't find them easily. There should be some items or something that you can find. I need to find.
I'm pretty sure they're on cycles.
Maybe but they should be like displayed on the map or something like some.
Oh.
Some kind of like where are they at? Because I feel like every time I kid you not, because I was trying to I wanted to level up the champion's gear that I found in the castle.
I never even found it. I was looking for it.
Wait, the blue one.
The blue one.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's just in the castle.
I mean, because I was gonna beat the game anyway. So I wanted to look in style. I wanted.
Yeah.
I want to love the stuff, so I would look at me. I'm like just like the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But it's like you got to find a light dragon, and you got to do the whole dragon farming, which, like last time, it's kind of a pain in the ass because you have to literally ride the dragon, hold on to the dragon when kind of like hover on the dragon like 10 minutes. And then you wait for to hit to get like a scale or a fang.
They're just kind of there, aren't they?
Yeah, but they regenerate after you get only one part for every 10 minutes.
How many pieces did you need?
To level up, you need at least 2 scales for like one star. You need 2 claws for a 2nd star.
Wait, to get the star fragments?
No, the star. The dragon scales. Or dragon parts. And that's the thing that garment needs. You need sunflowers or
Sundalines or whatever.
Yeah, you need Sundalines and you need the light dragon parts. But it's just the way. This is the way. But that's how the dragon was last time, because you have to go find the dragon. Okay, found the dragon. Congratulations. Now you have to go up in the air, land on the dragon. Okay, you're now on the dragon. Now you must perch on the dragon. And you get 1 item. Cool, got 1 item. Put a timer for 10 minutes. Hang on to the dragon. You can't pause the game. You can't. No, you kind of wait in real time. Wait for the dragon to come. Okay, wait for it to glow again. Okay, it's glowing. All right, hit it again, and then just do it again for another 10 minutes. So you're just like just farming, like going, what is this? What am I doing here?
And that's why I didn't do it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a you problem. I actually didn't want to run into the dragons, and I kept running into them. I kept going, to the depths.
Oh right, I
And-
caught one once coming back up. I was like,
And I
oh,
was
it's
like,
cool.
Oh yeah, I did. I saw them going
My
down. Yeah.
freaking hearts are gone now. And then I would be exploring, and sometimes you would run into them while you're down there, and I'm trying to survive and stuff, and they just freaking shoot me. I'm like, aren't you a good guy? Like,
They
what the
shoot
hell?
you?
Yeah, they shoot you. They shoot
What'd
like
you do to these dragons, Frank? What'd you do to
Oh,
these
I
dragons?
fire. The
Oh,
fire
wow.
one just they shoot you. Like if you get close to them, they start shooting you.
Oh,
Whoa. I just saw them like afar, and I was like, hey, you're down here too, and then I would walk away, but I never got close to them. That's interesting.
And then the other thing that I didn't like is that the music changed. I'm like, no, I like the original music. What's going on?
What, in the Breath of the Wild? Or?
No, both of them. Well, if you're too close to the dragons, the music changes.
Oh, the dragon music.
Yeah, I was just like,
Oh.
oh my god, this music's gonna put me to sleep. Come on.
very Frank thing.
But yeah, I don't like how they drag on this because
How
it's-
should they look, Frank?
okay, the red one, the ice one, or the lightning. I don't know how many there are.
Uh-huh.
I
That's
think
fine.
there's 4. Right?
That's fine that they
I
look
wanna
like they
say.
look. But Zelda should look different. Zelda should have a unique. Her difference was she has what like
She's gold?
rainbow color eyes and
Mhm.
a white and goldish look.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good enough.
Well, isn't that like, I guess, part of the twist element is like if you could tell right away? I assume that would have been it. Like they're like,
Would be
oh,
weird. She go, hey, Link, it's me, Zelda.
like if it was like very obvious,
That would be
because
weird.
that's like when you
Talk like
find
that.
that out, it's like, oh crap, like oh she ate the thing and she became a dragon.
Yeah,
like,
you're
that's
right. But then why does Ganon look exactly the same too? Like, come
That's
on.
true.
Well, that
little bit.
that was the weird narrative part to me. Like,
But he was a bigger evil dragon.
Guys, like this man, so we got it straight. So this guy trying to our village, almost won, got in prison, wakes up, doesn't go to the surface, just stays, hangs out in the depths, waits for Link to show up. You're here, and he's not gonna beat me. Oh shoot, he's beating me. Okay, well, last minute, I'm going to turn to a dragon. What? Like that's this all powerful demon king, right? It's like, you know what? If I just become a dragon too, then I don't have to worry about any of this.
I will say, speaking about that, the narrative beat is very because the whole time the game goes, he's so strong. He's the demon. He's so strong. We tried our best. We had our magic. He was just too strong for us. Link with the half broken Master Sword shows up and beats this guy without even trying. It's kind of like narrative, like what? Why? Because he's
Yeah.
the chosen one. Nonsense anime bullshit.
right.
It was very I wanted more of a narrative beat that made more sense to like why Link was able to beat him without even trying, and yet all these fuckers like died tragically, couldn't do
Yeah.
a dent on this guy. It's like, were they just all fucking pathetic and weak? Or what? What are they all like fucking? They're like Raditz over here, and we're all going Super
And,
Saiyan.
and
Yeah.
another problem with me is that it's like the same thing with like when Breath of the Wild with Calamity Ganon, right?
Mm.
Is now like, oh look, we got all the best guys, all the
Yeah,
best hands.
it's the same. Yeah.
and
It's
then
like,
and,
come
oh
on.
no, we blew him away. We got blown away.
It's pretty lazy.
They're all pretty worthless, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're like I don't know. Like, what did they do? Like, they just like showed up and then I feel like they said something, like they like I don't know if they slowed him down or they did something, kind of.
We tried to tickle him to death and it didn't
Yeah,
work.
it's like, damn, this isn't working.
Damn it! Oh.
So Rauru just does the
Let me jump in there. Just to finish off the dragon thing.
Oh yeah.
I wish like it was all right when I saw him eating the thing. What I thought would happen didn't happen. I thought, because he's Ganon, he would be so powerful that he wouldn't succumb to becoming, an exact replica of another dragon. So I thought he was gonna be.
Oh.
I thought he was gonna become Ganon because he's Ganondorf.
like dragon,
Oh.
kind of like a dragoness, kind of like Ganon, but like a dragon form
A
Ganon.
pig dragon? Is this what's going on?
Yeah, my opinion was be like he's so strong that he can keep his mind and he can shape himself however he wants and not succumb to be a, generic dragon.
That would that'd be some anime bullshit that I guess I'd be okay with.
Yeah, it would have been more interesting. Like, oh, so this is why.
Yeah,
that's true.
There's
That would help a
Ganon,
little.
why there's.
I like
Sell
that.
the hype.
Yeah, I
Sell
like
the hype.
that. Yeah, that's better.
And then the fight, yes, it was too easy. I thought it was kind of cool, but the easy part kind of sucked, and I didn't like that it was the day. I think they could have done it at night, and then once
the setting.
Once you beat them, and you're diving towards Zelda, it turns into day when you catch her. I think that would have been more poetic.
Something like that, yeah. Need something.
But I guess you guys didn't like too much the ending fight, but I'll just tell you why I liked it.
Well, you're wrong, but go ahead.
I thought it was fine.
It's fine. I mean, whatever. I don't care anymore.
It had some quirks that I
feel like I was probably more underleveled than all of you guys.
That's possible.
And I was sweating the whole thing. Just even getting to Ganon was hard. I had to do like, what's that guy's name? Solid Snake. I was hiding. I was climbing on walls.
Box.
Yeah, I think of it this way.
Snap.
I don't use potions, so if I got hit, that's it.
You don't have fairies?
No.
Wow.
I don't have fairies. I didn't have fairies.
Food? I don't have food at all.
I don't cook. No, I don't cook.
I refuse to cook.
Wow.
That took too long. Yeah, so I was eating apples, but that gives you like a half a heart, and then you run out. So I couldn't kill the Lionels. I was like, if there was more than one bad guy, I'm like, I'm out of here. So it was a tough thing, just the whole thing. So I mean, I know that if I would have upgraded and all that, but for me it was kind of
fun in that.
It was like it was like a horror game, like you play Metroid.
Actually, I'm surprised. Actually, I'll admit, because I was reading after I finished the game, I was reading online, and I found the Frank mode for this game. So basically, if you don't do any of the 4 quests, going around the regions, you would literally have to, before you get to the end, you have to beat all the bosses, like all the major bosses from each of the temples. So one by one. You had to do all 4 of them before you get to Ganon. No help in the regeneration. No, like if you get gloom, you can't remove the gloom.
I couldn't remove it.
Yeah, but you got to fight 4 bosses before you get to Ganon. So look, I found Frank's mode right here.
That does sound fun. But yeah, I should try that. So yeah, it was really hard getting to it, and then I enjoyed the atmospheres, the music, and then, like I said, when you're falling, and then the music finally turns more into the Ganon thing. I thought that was really cool.
It's a nice touch.
I did go there before the 5th stage, and I noticed that if you don't have, I guess depending on which ones you do, they come out, and for me it was like, thank God you guys are here, because they were like, okay, yeah, distract them now, I can handle it, because without them I would not have been in it. And so yeah, it was so hard because I didn't do it perfect. I had 10 hearts. That's it. 10 hearts, and Ganon would hit you like 3 at a time.
Yeah, and then you lose like a full heart.
Oh,
so
right,
even healing.
right.
That was the thing that like really got me sweating when it was like, oh, your heart is just fully gone.
It's just gone.
And
it's
then
like, oh.
And then he like, you can't heal it no more.
Yeah, it's gone.
So so that was like stressful.
Yeah, it is. It was a little stressful. I do remember thinking
the dodging in this game in general, and especially with Ganon, I found it hard. It took me like 10 tries to finally get the timing right. So I did that fight so many times.
I usually got with my shield. Usually I was just like, I would parry him with the shield, and then that's when I get in.
I was so bad at parrying.
Shield, what is that?
The problem is the timing in this game is just horrendous. But Breath of the Wild had the same problem. The timing is just horrendous. The game wants you to do it like 10 frames earlier than it needs to, or visually it should. As a guy who plays like Devil May Cry and Bayonetta games, like it's just like way too early.
Like
they want you to trigger
very
it.
unforgiving and like
it makes no sense.
Well, and other than the Ganon fight, it really didn't have. No, I never. Well, maybe other Age of Calamity, where the the parry rush was easier to do in that game than in actual
spin-off.
Yeah, because I feel like the time is just like I would think I got it and I didn't get it. It's like, And then most when I didn't got it, I got it. So it's like, what is the timing? Is
And that was the thing. I would get it, but I would get it because like, oh, you want me to do it stupidly early. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it at the timing part at all.
Okay. Well, trying to finish.
Go for it, Frank. Go for
Oh
it.
yeah, go.
So I was having a hard time. I like how Ganon looks in this game. He reminds me of, if you ever play Final Fantasy 1, the Gigas monsters.
It's
They're
been a
green.
long
They're like,
time.
They kind of look like green giants. Anyways, yeah, I think he looks almost like one. I might Google it in a bit.
There you go.
So he looks cool. I thought his fighting style was cool. It reminds me a lot of Wind Waker.
Yeah.
And when he turned Super Saiyan, that part was also cool for me the very first time, because you beat him and then he just fully heals himself, and it's like, hey, wait. Stop!
Yeah,
stop,
I
stop.
love that.
Oh, and his health bar like goes like almost beyond onto the edge of the screen.
That's
It's
a
like,
nice little silly touch.
It's like funny. It's like actually kind of a joke too. It's like
Right.
really. It's like, oh my god, you guys.
It's a good
Yeah.
bit.
So ruthless.
It was cool, and I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, shit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
damn.
And I have
you are
two,
strong.
I have 2 hearts.
Oh my god.
You got this, Frank. You got this.
Did you do okay during like the waves before Ganondorf? Like
The waves?
they're like there's like a big wave. It's like
like
fight a bunch of the goblins, and fight a bunch of the
army,
lizards.
The army had to fight because there's different like waves. Boblins.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Moblins. The Gibito.
Yeah, it's
the,
like a bunch
the
of them.
first time. No, because the first time but before I beat the 5th stage, I accidentally stumbled upon.
Oh.
I didn't do good, and it's just like, and then the second time I knew it was coming, so I was a little more prepared, and then I was like, okay, since this is the final battle, I'm just using all my items.
Right. Yeah. Doesn't
So-
fucking matter.
So if it wasn't for those items, I think I would have had trouble.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just the thing. Every time I would lose, I would change clothes, and it was like, all right, this is my true form.
The Frank method.
That's hilarious.
Oh, like, this armor didn't work. I'll use this one.
One of these got to be the winner.
Which one worked? Do you remember?
I really wanted to do it with the
Oh.
original one,
Yeah.
the green one,
Yeah.
but I turned it white. So I was like Jesus mode. But I had to do it with the other one, the Hylian armor. But
I did that too. Yeah. That was
And
my
what did I wear?
most maxed out.
I think
Yeah, 'cause I used the healing armor too. I did try my best to level that one, but I couldn't find. I couldn't get the claws, and at that point I was running out of time because before this today. So I was like, okay, well, forget that. Go plan B. Just go at him.
I think I did it with Hylian top and then the Jesus look bottom. So it was
Interesting.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I beat it, and I was really happy with that fight. And then the second one was like, But yeah, I was happy with it. Just like the little tweaks, if they could.
All I know is I think I made so much food before that fight that the game told me you made too much food. You cannot make any more food.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
I got that a few
you
times.
prepared a lot for me.
I prepared a lot too.
I was
Well, because I knew I was gonna deal with gloom. So like I think so I tried upgrading the gloom armor, but you have to find the Franks, and it's like that's you have to explore. I ran out of time. I couldn't explore the depths. It's like I'll just go with the healing armor because it's the one I have like 3 stars on. We'll go with that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And apparently I did well enough because it was going through Ganondorf was a piece of cake. At least to me.
I feel like if I ran into you guys in the game, I would be like, can you spare some? Can you spare some?
Not gonna eat all that pizza or soup, are you?
Change,
Lee?
apple.
No, Frank later on
An apple pie looks
get,
pretty big for one.
No armor. Just go like 2 hearts. Let's go. Not with a tree branch. Let's go, man. Let's go.
I don't remember who it was. Somebody mentioned. I think it might have been Ray that mentioned that they didn't like running into the people that guy that's holding the sign.
Oh, yeah.
This is true.
Because it was like so many of them, and the rewards weren't that good.
Yeah. It's
But I
a
remember-
bomb and a
I
food.
remember doing them. Like, hell yeah.
But see,
I helped that guy.
I did
See,
them
but that's the thing, though,
begrudgingly.
there's-
I needed some food.
There's so much things to
Anything
do in
for-
that game. You could play the game probably for a while because
Yeah, I'm still playing
you
it.
could you could find out the shrines. You could go. You could save that guy and make the sign. Make sure he goes up. You could go around, save the town here. You could find all the wells.
You can look for all the costumes. That's what I do.
and you can level up the
Love
costume.
find. That was like the thing I got hooked on. Like after the game, you didn't. I was just like, I want to find the time one. And I found it. And I found full. I found the full Ocarina of Time set, the full Skyward Sword set, the full original Link set. I found Majora's Mask, and I was like, oh yeah, this is amazing. I love that.
I I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
It was-
I know.
But did you
What
guys
were you
collect?
saying?
I found the Phantom Ganon one, the one for Ocarina of Time. If you get,
Oh, that one was hard to get.
yeah, because you beat all the three floating temples.
Oh yeah, I got
Yeah.
one piece of that.
I
have the
remember now.
legs.
Yeah, and then
Didn't
they had the one from the Spirit Tracks. No, they have that arm.
Oh, the
that-
helmet, right? Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
found that.
I didn't
one.
get that one. Huh?
The only one I was disappointed with was the Awakening one.
Oh, it
The-
sucks.
the
It's the remake Awakening. Ugh.
and I was like,
Oh, you're right.
and that one, they pretty much just like, look, it's a toy. Like,
Yeah, it looks a little funny.
like,
What the fuck?
Yeah, it looks a little weird. I mean, I guess that's.
Who would
Yeah.
play this baby Zelda game? You know, people who maybe started with the game, fucking Nintendo.
I don't know. And I know the one I liked the most was the original one. The original one, because
With a really high skirt.
The high shorts. Like,
It's like, oh my
all-
god.
Fucking Peter Pan as fuck.
I'll need the little shield. Like, let's go.
I like that they even give him like the like because he had like
The-
those like
the
long
major sideburns. You got the
or something,
6
like hanging
sideburns.
sideburns. I
Uh-huh.
don't even know what to call them. But they're
Anime
like,
as fuck.
yeah, but they're like, oh wow,
80s designs.
they're
Mhm.
good.
Good old times. Let's see what else. I also find the fact that like most, like after you finish like conquering each of the lands, you're like, most of the time now you're just going explore over here, explore over there. There's no. It sounds like to me like like, hey, now I'm in a waiting stage. Now I'm gonna go see what's wrong with my town or something. Something new happened at the town, but nothing new happened because they say like again we unlock our stages. Again, we find out what happens to Princess Zelda at Hyrule Castle. All right, I mean, something must happen at all the other places. I gotta do something new at all the different locations again. No, like just Gan's down there. You know where he is. Down. I was like, oh, okay. No, I guess I'm not being more narrative with the characters because apparently Link knows these guys. Because it's been like roughly 2 years since Breath of the Wild. It's like, hey, I know you. Hey, I know everyone knows Link, right? And the Princess Zelda. That's like I thought we hang out with them more, do something else. Because clearly you could play them with like they had kind of like a sidekick element to them, kind of like like hey, like the rocks and stuff. But like other than you get the spirit form and that's it. All right, and I guess you could turn them on and off, but if you have all 4 of them on with you, or 5, I guess you'd say, then like any enemy in the game is easy because it's like go get him. All right.
Yeah,
They're all bumbling
sometimes I
idiots.
felt like I was cheating. Like it felt like I was like I'm already so powerful, and it's just like, and then I get these guys, and they fight half of the fights for me. Which it's very helpful and it's nice in certain situations, but sometimes it makes me feel like I was like I'm not playing this game. I'm just like I'll be like digging or like looking at something like, oh okay, thanks guys.
Oh,
Like,
thanks for the help.
You're
Oh.
fighting that guy over
There's
there.
a guy over there? Oh shit.
Yeah, I didn't even realize.
Wait, you couldn't dig?
Or I meant like I'm digging.
Mining.
Yeah, the digging mechanic.
Didn't you get that far, Frank? The real players got that far.
No, I was thinking of the
I'm so fake.
mining for the.
Fake gamer.
I was mining when you hit the rocks. I was looking.
Oh, okay.
I was looking for diamonds today. I couldn't. But
Tough time.
Oh, I wanted to ask you something.
Uh-huh.
I actually want to ask you a few things. So when you
Just him?
Just me.
well, primarily because there are things you mentioned, and I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay, because I didn't realize it because you were like saying, do you realize the thing about the underworld where you can like that
the
helps
depths.
you the depths is like a
Mhm.
giveaway, and I didn't, and I'm surprised I didn't realize it sooner. It's that they
They
share the
matched
same.
the shrines.
Yeah, I was like.
Mhm.
I didn't find that out until like the end of the game. I was like, how did I not realize this? But it's so freaking obvious.
Oh,
it's
that's
just like,
adorable.
yeah, like you because you switch maps. You're like, I was like, wait a minute.
Hold on a second
Wait a minute.
here.
And then like I looked at one, it was like I have one here, not up there. I'm gonna go over there. It's like, doop, doop, doop. I'm like,
That was helpful. That was
yeah.
helpful.
I mean, but I was glad I didn't realize it. It is helpful, but like I like once
I personally would have not liked to realize that to make
Yeah.
the mystery a little longer.
because it's like there was a certain points where I was like exploring like nothing, and I was just like I can't find a shrine. I can't.
Right.
So like I felt like I was wasting my time because all I had to do was go look up and be like, oh, there's nothing there. Don't waste your time
Right,
over
there's
here.
nothing.
Like you go somewhere else. Go around.
Talking about the underground, like the tiers, I wish it was mandatory. Like, you know,
What?
going underground and doing certain stuff. They're like, you know,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
just one dungeon, but
That's about it.
I wish it was more.
Well,
Well, no, you go, you go
I
in
go there
for the
twice.
5th one. You go in the. Well, that's not a. It's like a pseudo dungeon, right?
Kind
The last one, because the dungeon is like in the sky, kind of. And
Well,
then,
you initiate by going to the sky.
yeah, which is like kind of part of the. It's like the most weird disjointed dungeon.
I guess, which is funny because once I think I mentioned this on the podcast before, I did all that not knowing that was
That's
the dungeon.
what I was gonna ask.
Mm-hmm.
Because you found the whole like.
I broke the last bit of that game
Wow, you found the 5th shrine way
before I
early.
was supposed to even know to look for it.
Wow.
And because I'm thinking
surprised they let you do that.
that. So was I.
I had that thought because I was playing the game and I was like, oh, I'm sure they block it. Like, there's no way you
I
can
thought
get
they
there.
did because when you do the thunder thing,
Yeah.
it's like covered in clouds, isn't it?
But you could circumvent that if you're just in the ground,
Circumvent
underground.
that.
Pretty much. Apparently, that's what I did because I warped there, not knowing. I was looking for I was looking for the flight suit, and so I was like, "What's this checkpoint? I don't know. Let's warp and find out." And I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" Then I look at this door. I'm like, "What the fuck? What's this crazy door doing here?" And I was like, "All right, let's open it up. I guess." And then I'm doing things. I'm like, "Oh, here's the other sage that they've been talking about." And I thought it was weird the whole time. They kept saying, "Oh, it's only us and I'm us," and I'm like, "But no, there's one more. Are you stupid?" I played the 64 game. There's one more, dummy. And then the game goes, there's one more. And I'm like, well, yeah, I did this shit hours ago.
Oh, man, that's insane.
So, yeah, I broke that game because the game goes, there's the 5th sage or whatever. Have you gotten to the last sage? Well, yeah. Have you gotten the Master Sword? Well, yeah. Have you found Zelda? Well, yeah. Well, shit, what are you doing here? Like, go kill Ganondorf. I'm like, well, shit, I guess I will. I broke that game.
Yeah, let's go get that fool. Let's go.
I had a similar thing with the. I felt kind of that way with the Master Sword because I did do that early. Because I was like, I know the Master Sword's in there. Why don't I just go get it? So then I got it like before the 4th stage even. Like I was I still had more
did the same
stages to
thing.
do. Yeah, so I was like, I want to get it. And then it's just like, oh wow, this is crazy. I'm on a Zelda dragon, and like you do all this stuff, and then it's just like, and then the game's like, now you must get the Master Sword. I have it. Okay.
Oh well, but good for you, Link. Good about you worked hard. You had a boy, Link.
Yeah, it's funny that we all have this like, we kind of some weirdness. It seems like with like the, I don't know.
The out of order of events.
Yeah, like we
but-
all have our own like complaints about like this seems kind of like you should have maybe made it more linear.
Yeah, exactly. There's some parts I
Yeah.
agree.
Which
they
I
should've.
kind of goes back to what you were saying, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I was sort of like, I don't know if I agree with that, but having had this conversation, I do think that open world might be a little ambitious,
But,
at least in the storytelling.
We
I
need
mean,
a
wait,
little
I-
bit more.
I feel like if we're going to do this again, let's assume they're going to do this again, right?
Yeah.
That they need to put out. We figured out all of it we can do with mechanics wise. It was only devices. We figured out the fusing, non-fusing. We did everything. The Link with the magical arm, did all magical things, right? It's like we need to put the story first. I feel like the story is always kind of now taking a back seat. You know, at least the last 2 Zelda games we had so far, and like, yeah, the story's not important, but look at the gameplay. Look, you could go over here. You could go over there. It's not your traditional Zelda gameplay. We're doing something unique.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's cool. I get it. I understand because the director of Zelda, I don't know, but he does. You know, he's tired of the old Zelda formula of going to dungeons, you get the item, you beat the boss, and then you keep going, you keep doing it, repeat. I understand that, but there's something that's so nostalgic of doing that, and it's weird. Now you're doing open world. You can fight this dragon if you want to. You could just go over here. You could, if you want to, you could literally jump off, go fight Ganon right now. No clothes or anything. Go find like right straight to your death. You know, there's no, but there's too much freedom, I would argue, right? There's so much freedom. Like you could do this, and then the story kind of like I guess I'm at the end here. I got all my hearts. I got all my gear going. I'm gonna go and finish the story, and then like again, it's like, oh, you can't defeat me, things like that, and just one poke, and that's it. And he's dead. You know, and I feel like if you, you lose a lot of the story elements, especially if you try to be more dramatic and more. I'm supposed to feel like what happened to Zelda? How is she? Is she okay? Is she in the and she's in the past somehow? How does the yet this version of Hyrule, how this founding happened, and Gandalf being Gandalf, and I got the stone, so now I am now the Demon King. Like what? Huh? No, like there's so much story beats that they could have. Like Frank said, you need to make it more mandatory, because I feel like if you miss it, you're like, so how did Gandalf became Ganondorf? And I felt like it's such like. It reminds me, because I remember you two always talk about you and Ray talk about Metal Gear Solid 5, like a lot of the story content was like you have to find it. It's not really told to you. You have to go. I gotta find cassette tape. The cassette tape will tell me about.
Yeah. There was way too much cassette.
Yeah, there were.
But the whole game, the game relies on you to find cassette tapes to get the story.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, but there's gameplay. The gameplay's fun or whatnot.
Yeah.
But if you're here for the story, well, you have to find the story. And I think for a Zelda game especially, I feel like that kind of degrades the story overall, because the whole bit about Zelda, going back through time, dealing with the sages and that, it kind of, by the time I heard it for 5 times, everyone keeps saying like, yes, I do know exactly how this.
It's always in the same room. They're always dirty. They're
The same screenshot. He's got me. Ganondorf, you're so strong. If only there was like one guy with one sword that could beat you, like real easily too.
And then Priscilla came by, and I told her, yes, when the time comes, I will send my Sage will awaken to help you out. And it's like, yes, I know this happened 4 times by now.
Can I? There's two things. Because I was talking to Ray earlier, and we mentioned Final Fantasy 13, and how nobody liked it apparently. But I loved it because it's very linear, and the story is a main focus. Even though there's not much, they kind of like dramatize it and stuff.
Right.
But what I wanted to mention was, I think it would be cool if they did this Zelda game, and of course, make the story mandatory. But also, have you guys played 13?
I have.
I played a little. Not
I played 13, 13-2, and
13-2?
Lightning Returns.
All right, give him the badge. Everyone, give him Miles the badge. He deserves it.
All right, join the group. Cool. I want to play that game again. That game did something interesting where they cap you, like.
Yeah, they cap your certain.
And I think it would be cool if they first time you play Zelda, you're capped. Beat it, and then you know how in the original Zelda you beat it and you could get the second run. Now you're free to explore anything. You played the game the way it's intended.
Oh, that's an interesting concept.
They change the whole world, changes color. All the bad guys change colors. Everything's mixed up.
Yeah,
right. Shuffle the cards.
Well, it's like I know, like on the internet out there's like versions of Link to the Past that someone would change this item's over here now, this item's over there, like
the randomizer,
and no, this level's not the way you think it is. You need to go over here first to grab this item so you're able to beat the limb.
But I think that would be a interesting way to fix it, and yet do what they want to do, give freedom. Like, okay, we're gonna give you the freedom, but earn it first. And then and I was thinking of Link to the Past. I'm like, what if right away you could just go to Ganon? Like, that doesn't feel right.
Such an interesting. I feel like you guys have just discovered the next Zelda. Like, that's a really good idea, honestly. Like, but telling that in like a Zelda story way. It's
the way to do it.
Sell it. I love this. Is a brilliant idea. You guys are geniuses.
Because I understand what Number wants to do, because he's tired of doing this.
Right.
There's always been the same formula from like day one. You go find a princess. You go get the item. You go get the Master Sword. You go get Ganon. You kill Ganon's second form. And I understand the whole team, but that's what players expect, and that's what.
Keep racking. Take that microphone.
So angry.
So angry, stupid Ganondorf.
But I feel like they're too busy trying to change everything up that we're losing part of the charm that is Zelda. You know, you know, I feel like we're too busy trying, like, you know, like, I'm too busy focusing on gameplay elements. Look, I put this together, and I can make this. Look at that. You know, but no, I think the story itself, because it was supposed to be a very compelling, kind of sad story, especially the way the certain, like, key music moments, I'll call it. Like, I kid you not, like, the whole, when they play Zelda's theme, but they're kind of sad, and kind of like, you know, to feel like, because you know what happens to her, right? I was like, damn, that's harsh, right? But, you know, and they say it's cool. I'm gonna go fight this. You know, I'm gonna go fight this big giant dragon or Gleelock or whatever instead. You know? it ruins the mood of, like, what the narrative, right? So they need to find a balance that way. You know, yeah, sure, you don't have to, you don't have to go, like, in order to fight all the, kind of like they did with A Link Between Worlds. Because that one was a good way to, like, what they kind of in between, because they pretty much, A Link Between Worlds, pretty much, you know, there's a big giant hub, and, you know, all the items are there. You can rent them out.
Yeah, that was an interesting.
You know,
Right.
I mean, it was cool.
I didn't like that.
Oh, you didn't like it? I mean,
No.
you could buy them. You just have to spend a lot of rupees, but
But, like, say, hey, I want to tackle this dungeon over here. Cool, you might need this and that. So you rent them out, and they might do very well. Like, they, you know, they're running out and that, but, you know, you can rent them out. You could want to tackle that dungeon over there. Here, just get the bombs and that. Rent them out. You know, and as long as you have the money for it, you could rent them out and rent them out again if they broke or whatever. But that was a unique concept trying to.
I don't like choosing. I don't like having to make decisions. They asked me what do you want to eat? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
What item do you want to rent?
What do you want to eat pizza?
You know, the hardest part of an RPG is choosing your name. Like, oh damn, what if
we keep going back.
what if it doesn't match his character?
It's the name, it's the colors, it's all the freight problems.
It's like Zelda in general, right? Everyone's like, you could name your character, but his character's name's Link. They like, and that's
in this one they don't even let you choose it.
they're like,
you're
yeah.
Because like we're like, hey, dumbass, hi, dumbass. You know,
Well,
like,
the voice acting doesn't help too, because they're
Right,
they're gonna say his name.
It's gonna be weird.
They're like never mention his name. Oh, I have a
Hero.
I have a kind of a hot take, possibly.
All right.
I don't.
Damn, that was the
Oh,
last
damn.
one so far.
That's my hot take. Boom.
Damn, Andy.
I think I don't like that they turned Zelda back into a human, and I understand like that is like it's weird to like I guess have a game not have like a human Zelda in it, like, but like I feel like it just her coming back diminishes her sacrifice. I think
Pretty much.
yeah, which is like I mean it's like
she should have stayed dead.
well like or
Stay a
just stayed a
dragon.
dragon, like that would have been like it would have been so like. And that would have been kind of weird in like a Majora's Mask way that I would have liked, where it's just like, oh, like, and like you still play the game and like you'd be like, yeah, that's Zelda, like in the
Zelda
sky,
over
like,
there.
yeah, I think that, and it was just kind of like it was sort of that anime stuff where it's like, all our power will make her come back,
Pretty much.
we'll make her
The
come
heart of the
back.
cards.
Yes, and she's back.
Power of friendship.
Like, and but then like I did like that scene when he grabs her, like I thought that was cool. I was like, okay, that's like.
Someone's seen Spirited Away, perhaps.
Yeah. I know, I know she should have freaking died. They all should have died. Link should have died a million times.
well, he died actually twice.
He got better.
That's true. Yeah, right. But oh, and then kind of going even further ahead, you guys all saw like the real ending, I'm assuming, right? Like
What's the real ending?
where you're
Refresh
like
me.
it's like after you crack or I don't know.
The credit scenes?
Where it's like they're all on a sky island, all the
the funny scene.
Oh, the
Yeah.
funny scene apparently.
yeah, where they're all hanging out, right? And then she's like, "You will all be my soldiers, won't you?" And they're like, "Yeah, Zelda," and she's right.
I love Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
Wow. See, I never got that because, to be honest, I just switched to the Japanese voice acting.
He was a smart man.
Oh my god, I did not realize that till later, and I regret it to this day.
One of my friends told me about it.
I should have
And
fucking looked that
I'm like,
up.
and like,
Would've been a
what,
better
like, what a
choice.
game, what a
Way-
freaking game changer that is.
I'm sure it is. Oh my god.
Look,
It's a weird choice.
Here's Zelda coming out and like being like this. This is what Zelda's supposed to sound like in my head.
Well, hello, Link. How's it going? It's me,
I
Zelda.
love Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, it's a great
It's a good
movie.
movie. It's a really good
Right,
movie.
right.
It's a great movie.
But you know, I feel like unfortunately, because you know, I would argue, you know, Zelda talks a lot in this game.
Yeah.
You know,
Too much for him.
but like I feel like I was like, no, just no. I'm not gonna.
It's not working
I
for
just
me.
for the ending, I thought it was just like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. The funny scene.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the funny scene?
That the whole Frank thinks it's funny, thus it's the funny scene.
Okay, I don't remember the exact words, but he said
Frank's
something like,
Hey, what's up, Frank?
Oh,
I'm
geez.
out again.
There we go.
Why
this thing really?
She says something
time
like,
it.
"Will you stand with me?" or
Yeah.
And then they all step forward.
Yeah.
And Pura's just like, like no, like, she stays behind, and it's kind of funny. Like she's not she's like not part of the group.
Oh, that's true.
You don't remember that?
Not really, actually. No.
I guess me.
I think I missed that joke because they started. I remember they started laughing.
I don't think it's supposed to be a joke. I think it's just.
It's a circumstance, but Frank thinks
okay.
it's funny because the way how it portrays itself.
I was already gone by the time that was happening, so I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I think I just wish like I wanted the game to have more of like a end, but it was just kind of like drag.
Just
like
kept going.
it's just like
Lord of the Rings much?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I think that was like my because like we've said, like the story generally is really interesting, and I like how they did it, and like finding out that she has the sword like on her is like, oh, that's crazy, and like doing the this is a set like it's like essentially like okay, you're killing yourself, and in a way like. Which is why, like, oh, she comes back.
Right.
Like, oh, okay.
I guess you gotta get better.
Well, I feel like if they were going to do that, they need to do like a better kind of like you have to do this.
It should have been a mission.
Yeah, it should be like the final mission, which is a way to bring her back. But and that's the real, like.
Yes, I think I would have liked that better.
Like that should be like.
I would have liked that better.
To me, I feel like it should be like if they ever, because I'm pretty sure they'll make an expansion pass for this game eventually down the road. That should be an expansion pass item thing. Like, here's the thing, you could bring Zelda back if you do this content.
Oh man, expansion pack! Oh my gosh, that would be mean.
But that'd be like
Tears of the Kingdom final mix.
Something that you made me think about was when you said that she should have stayed a dragon. I think it would have been funny if she did stay a dragon, and then somehow, because you know that you can find the outfits of the other links, somehow one of the other links pops up and is like, yeah, that other dragon's my Zelda. It's just like it's just funny. They're all Zeldas up there.
Oh, that is really funny. Just flying, multiverse of flying Zeldas as dragons.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it.
Let's see. Is anyone else? Who else? Anyone?
Oh, I know I have other things to say.
What else do you want to say, Andy? Get off your chest. I know it's dependent in the podcast.
Well, like I was saying, what were you saying?
No, I was
I'm still playing it. Like I'm just so
still doing the shrines.
Yeah,
the
like
depths.
it's just fun. It's just fun to find things and
just
like
just pretty much just doing everything still.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I feel like it's sort of like starting to run its course because like it's not like I'm dedicated. It's just kind of like I'll be like I'm not doing anything. It's like I'll just go
play some Zelda.
Yeah, just play. And I feel like that's kind of what I wanted to do with Breath of the Wild more, but I don't know. It didn't like hook me as much as this one does. Just like I don't know. I mean, as much as like some of the changes are like when I think about like the crafting, like the Zonai weapons or like the crafting stuff you do when you build the ships. Like anything I ever make is always the 3-jet thing. Like anytime I like do it, like it's like I see people do like creative crazy things, but I'm like I'm not doing that. I'm just like, how can I get there now? Okay, it's always this like
I'm just gonna fly.
The three winged. The three, or it has like
three fans, a cart, the steering wheel,
and off you go.
2 big batteries if you have the 2 big batteries.
Yeah, or if you got a lot of char.
I usually put rockets on mine.
So or the game just punishes you for unlocking all that. By the way,
because mine will usually go up, and then that guy like dive in, and then that's where I can keep flying from there. But then another issue with that stupid game. The problem with that game is like the devices run out of time for some reason. Like you'll keep flying. I'll say, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I feel you use this too long. Like
it feels like I mean I get like as like a developer maybe it's like you don't want them to like
break the game, just like the Master Sword again.
Yeah. But it still feels like what I charged up like what's the point of my big ass battery?
And I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, like
it's like you're getting punished. Oh, I see you played the game and you grinded out for hours. Fuck you. Go back.
Like it should have well, I don't know how they would do it, but it
Well,
just seems, don't make me go that far.
Yeah,
then.
pretty
like,
much.
don't give me that.
Exactly.
I don't need it.
Well,
really.
while we're at it here about the say the sky, right? Because I thought originally when I saw the trailer of this game, I thought it's like, oh look, like well, I think like Ray pointed out to it, like is that wow, look at the remakes Skyward Sword base. They're gonna give us the sky we asked for last time.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Not really.
not the sky is very like maybe like an eighth.
I mean, more than that, but it's not a lot.
Like a quarter, maybe. I never put like it's a
no, quarter might be too much.
I was gonna say quarter's too much.
Quarter's too much. It's like 15.
Let's go for 15. We'll settle 15, 10, 15.
15% of the game is in the sky.
Of the sky.
But I feel like because we're showing like the sky, like you're going to explore the sky, you're gonna go up and you're gonna explore temples and that. Like it's like maybe like a handful of islands on most.
Yeah, and they're all like it's like rinse and repeat.
The
It's
same
like
generic.
And then it's like most of the time you're gonna go down to the depths. The what? The depths. Okay, all the depths is the same map down there, just now with more gloom. You can't heal yourself because you lose hearts, and that's it.
But I love
But
Stranger Things.
they never showed that all in the game trailers. Like any trailer or something, they never showed that part.
I like that they did that. At least they kept something a secret. But
That was a good. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah, because the sky is like, oh, okay, you're just up
Oh, cool.
You're
Nothing
not
here. Cool.
in purgatory. Oh, I was kind of a random tangent thing, but did you guys know that like Rauru is in other Zelda games? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he's the Sage of Light.
I had no fucking idea.
Sage of Light.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just this game's just Ocarina of Time again, by the way.
like
fellas.
he's
What?
the
No.
you know when you go into the what's the Temple of Time in Ocarina of Time, and the first guy you meet, one of the sages, she's like, oh,
he's the old
like,
man with the beard.
He's the old man with the beard and a red robe. That's Rauru. And it like blew my mind. I was like, what the heck?
Different?
Well, he's changed.
Well,
he's not a furry anymore.
Yeah, he's not a furry. He's just like a big old guy with a bald head. And
That's
he's like
weird.
yeah, but in the and then
And a different timeline.
and then yeah, different timeline. He's like a human in Ocarina of Time, but in this game he's like a weird furry character.
They say it's Rauru?
Yeah,
Or
he
how
says my name is Rauru, and I saw that and I was like, because I just started playing Ocarina of Time because I was like, it's good.
Is
I know I've been playing. It's
Wait.
fucking good,
No.
but yeah, I got to him.
Actually, quick about the news. I just never a hot second. You could play Oracle Sages or Oracle Seasons, Oracle of Ages.
Oh
Game Boy.
yes,
I go
I'm.
like
Maybe
yeah,
it's
that sounds
time.
pretty good.
I
Right
know
now.
it does. I was thinking about it, but
No.
I can't play. This is too much Zelda.
Wait, so is that the only game that he comes out in? Or?
I don't know, but when I saw that,
Well, the problem, in Tears of the Kingdom, Mouse Breath of the Wild, there are a lot of references to other. If you look
Yeah.
at it, there's a lot of references
Yeah.
to other Zelda games in there. Princess Toto. All the Zoras, all the different King Zoras you met throughout all the Zelda games.
Right.
Are the other ones in it too?
Well, then that's the thing. Well, I guess we're gonna go on this slight
because
tangent.
Soraya's not in.
It's
it.
unknown then. It's unknown.
Well, gentlemen, I guess I'll
Implied,
open
but
up
not
this
confirmed.
question.
Huh.
If we try to put this thing in the timeline, how the hell do we do this?
I keep on thinking it's your idea is like that's what you said is like my headcanon now.
Which
where
one?
you said like
I say a lot of stuff.
well you said that so you said the blame. That you said the like when you know how the game is like Zelda is like what 10,000 years ago in the past or whatever?
Something like that.
Yeah, so like you're saying that in the universe it's like that is the beginning and then the current time in Tears of the Kingdom is like the book ending of all like the Zeldas.
Oh, okay, I remember now.
Yeah, you said that, and that's like my headcanon now. I'm like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Like in like the grand scheme, like it kind of does work, at least to me.
If you think about it too much, no. But
No, yeah, oh, I'm sure. Yeah, if you think about it, like if you think about it, like
the problem is that Wind Waker exists, and that's pretty much to me. That's what we find. That's like the final nail. Because Hyrule pretty much goes into the sea, and that's it. And they close the chapter because the king says, "I'm done. You children, you did your service. You served your purpose well. I'm gonna bury this kingdom with it, and we're not gonna talk about Hyrule again. You guys can live your own lives, and you're up above the sea now, pretty much. So to me, I feel that's the end right there of whatever the other we're talking about right now. To me, this is like because the problem also is Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword is more like their origin story because of
Right,
demise, things like
They want
that.
us to believe, at least.
that's what's supposed to be the first one, right? Yeah.
pretty much the whole like I'm going to chase your children, your descendants, whatever. The speech that Demise gives at the end. Like, I'll chase you down to the ends of the earth. But to me, this game is kind of like, I want to say, like in between, kind of like in between the Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess, because the fact that there's a Temple of Time that exists, or like Breath of the Wild, for example, I know there's. See, I don't know if there's two of them now. That's fair.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, is that would have to include Breath of the Wild? Like, you couldn't. I mean, I guess you could, but Breath of the Wild, Ocarina of Time,
because there's two Temple of Time, because in Breath of the Wild, the Temple of Time was where you woke up at. No, you passed the Temple of Time, but there's also Temple of Time now up in the sky now in this game. So wait, which one is no? Questions are now being answered or being asked, I guess.
Kind of just going into that a little bit. I had a lot of hope for this game because it seemed like it was gonna tie it into Twilight Princess and all that.
I remember you mentioning that.
And then the way it turned out, it separated so much, and it became its own thing. And I was just a bit disappointed. I'm like, oh well, like now I don't really care so much about the lore, because for me, I like connecting things.
The thing with me is acquiring this game and say Breath of the Wild is I feel like we forgot about Calamity Ganon.
That was also weird too. I looked that up because like I was thinking of. I actually went on like Reddit. I was like, I just typed it in.
Best place on the go on the internet.
I mean, like I ended up on Reddit through a Google search. I'll say that. But
I went to the Neil Gaiman forums, and I know they went to his article. And this article I think is 100% correct.
No, but basically, like they don't like address like Calamity Ganon like in his relationship to like what this current Ganon is. It almost feels like there is a tie-in, like because like I feel like there really isn't. Like they're not like there never was like he is. I know someone was like speculating that Calamity Ganon was like a manifestation of the real Ganondorf from the depths. Like people were just like saying theories like that was like it. I'm like, well, I guess that could be true because like right in Breath of the Wild, there's still like there's all that stuff happening down there, right? Like it's still like.
Ganondorf's heading out there.
Yeah, it's he's like as Calamity Ganon's under there, he's getting like he's pushed down by Rauru, right? Yeah, so like all that stuff is being there. So that would make sense to me. Like, I mean, I don't know if they ever say it, but like that he's like Calamity Ganon is like this what's the word I'm looking for? What's the depth stuff?
Dead stuff?
The depth.
Gloom?
The gloom, yeah, like he's gloom, like essentially, like he's part of. He's like kind of a manifestation from gloom,
right?
Because like, where else do they ever talk about like him just like being there? Right. I don't know.
I never even thought about kind of like
the way how I read it was according to what the game tells you is that 2 years passed. Whatever happened with Calamity Ganon pretty much broke the foundation of Hyrule Castle down below, where Ganondorf and Ryu's hands been holding him forever, and since that happened, that causes the upheaval and all the things going on. Because when they destroy Calamity Ganon, they kind of broke the seal that hold Ganondorf down there, and that's why the whole upheaval, things like that, whatever. So I admit, no more I think about it, but the fact that Ganondorf kind of just chills in there in the depths, doesn't really come out to play.
Well, no, he's just. I mean, he's trapped right by Rauru until
that's my understanding.
Yeah, because I mean that could be like I don't know if like that is like the like what you're saying about Calamity Ganon like being sort of like the rupturing thing, because like ultimately it's because Link and Zelda go down and look at it, right?
Basically.
Like they're like, we're gonna go down and explore. Oops, like we found this thing, but like do they find it because of Calamity Ganon, I guess? Is like now is what I'm thinking.
They state that Zelda stated like as you're going down there, and she says like the town's being sick with some kind of gloom sickness.
Right, yeah. That seems to it just like comes out of nowhere, right?
Yeah. And she and her and Link saw that the leakage is coming from the castle grounds.
Yeah.
So that's why he went down to the depths, because they were trying to see, okay, what's going on down here? Why is the castle leaking this stuff that's hurting the town? And of course goes there and oh no, there's that.
So then I guess the gloom would have come from Calamity Ganon then, right?
Well, it's from Ganondorf apparently this. So the way I interpret it is I first thought narratively I think it's a good beat with the idea of like, oh, this whole time we thought we were fighting Ganon, and we were in Breath of the Wild, but really we're fighting Ganondorf, the incarnation of this Ganon creature, like we're told in the original 64 game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a good beat. But the problem is like the game goes on, and Miles already suggested like they really are just two different things, and I think that's stupid and lame. Personally,
Yeah, it's why.
And then also speaking about the question I asked our council here, I would argue it doesn't fit in the timeline. It's its own separate thing, which also is very boring and uninteresting.
Well, yeah, well, I mean,
Because it makes no sense. Because the problem is according to the official Zelda timeline, which is its own utter nonsense, don't get me wrong, but everything happens with Ocarina of Time and the fence, what occurs there. And we see that in Wind Waker, if what this happens. We see that in Twilight Princess, what happens. But the events of that game does not reflect at all with this incarnation of Ganondorf.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, there's no story behind Ganondorf instead of the lore that we knew from that game that we applied into this game.
Yeah.
So there's just nothing to really support it. We could, fantasize and, theorize, this and that, but there's no real hard evidence to really suggest that there's a connection between this and the other games. So it's on its own separate timeline, which I find kind of boring and lazy because Nintendo bothered trying to explain this nonsense to us.
Right.
And then they're like, ooh, this sounds like a lot of hard work. And now they've just gotten lazy and be like, fuck it, I don't know. It's its own timeline, I guess. I don't know. Shit. That sounds like a lot of work I don't want to think about.
Well, it's very weird to me because I feel like at the end of the day, this game itself, like it's more like, look what you could do on the Switch. Look, you could vastly look around. You could go to that castle. No, they're so busy focusing on
Well, the open world.
all the open world, the gameplay aspect, that anything else beyond that is like, but
Yeah.
because it happened like with was it the Star Fox, Star Fox Zero,
Star Fox Zero.
What was it that one?
Oh, the Wii U one?
Because pretty much just like, but look at you shoot.
Oh, the gameplay. Yes, I see. Okay, I see what the. Okay, I was confused. Where are you going with this? But now I get it.
No, because they were focused on the gameplay. Like, look, you could do this. You
Bring
could,
out the gamepad. You got to play with the gamepad.
They're so busy focused on like the gameplay aspect of how like this is not your traditional Zelda game. You're gonna lose weapons are gonna break. You have to get new weapons. You have to you don't heal yourself. With hearts. You have to you have to make your own food and do like build buffs and debuffs, things like that. But but like story wise, over that out the window. And I guess to me that's kind of the bummer part is I feel like we're truly trying to change what Zelda is, and we're losing what Zelda was.
Mm.
I just want a simple time. I just want to be a guy, a boy who comes in, fairy boy or something, a boy who comes in. Somehow he's the master. No, he go pick up the sword, and now he has to go to the sword to save the world. Just easy peasy, just like that.
That's why they put out Oracle of Ages and Seasons, maybe.
Guess so.
They heard you. They're like, all right, give him the old game. He wants the old game. Give him the old game.
And I'm curious because I know that they're releasing the Luigi's Mansion game or the Dark Moon onto the Switch eventually.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they re-released Luigi's Mansion on the DS, and then releasing this. What the hell? That's so silly.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Oh, you didn't miss that? You missed that part? Yeah, no, they're doing that now.
Wait, is Luigi's Mansion on the Switch, the OG, or no?
No.
The DS? Okay.
Exactly.
And it was like at the end of its life too. I swear it was like right
it had
as it was
nothing else to do. It's like, I don't know, put this on the 3DS, I guess.
Oh man.
And I guess to me, I feel like maybe we'll get the Link Between Worlds, maybe.
I don't know.
Good
That
luck
feels like
with
an
that.
exclusive.
I think that's done.
Because I still feel like that one is like unique blend of everything. Like trying to do something new, but still have the old. It's like the best sequel Zelda game.
Best blend of two.
Yeah, of doing something old yet something new at the same time.
Mm.
And I feel like nothing. Like they tried to create something like that, and just like they went too far in to try and change it, and you need to step back and go back to, I would say like go all the way back because obviously it gets repetitive after a while, but go back to like the story beats or the linear structure, I guess. I feel like there's so much, and in this game alone, I feel like you could go up in the sky, you could go down to the ground, you could you could grab this items, you could save the trees, you could rebuild Learn Village if you wanted to. There's so much things to do.
Oh, that one, yeah.
There's so much things you could do in this game. I feel like there's so much gameplay that the story just like.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut you up, Mal. I feel like we're going in a circle here.
All right.
It's true. The narrative is weak. Go ahead, Andy. What do you got for me?
Oh no, I was playing when I was playing the game. You remember that mission where there's like the pirates, like they
yes,
they
you have to
take over
save
the town.
the island.
Oh,
Yeah. That was you had like that one? Yeah, I did that one when I was kind of like a little further in the game, so I was like all beefed up and I was like, I'm gonna do this like Metal Gear Solid. So like I put on like all like the sneaking outfits and I was like sneaking around, I was like bah, bah. And then I would get like the what's the item that makes them hurt each other? Like that one.
Yeah,
I would just like throw them at them and then I would put on the hat.
Oh,
and I was like and I love when you do that. They just come and look at you like it's like
what's going on here? I don't know. But
like, are you
hot?
something's
yeah, like
about you?
why do you look all right, I'm gonna leave you alone. But then I did that one like
That's
I was
funny.
just like I was sneaking around. It was really fun.
So you have fun?
We have
That
fun.
was a good ass game.
It was a good game.
I like
Don't
that
get me
game a
wrong.
lot.
It's a good
like
game.
it's like up there. Like I was because I was replaying Ocarina and I was thinking like Ocarina is very good. It's making me rethink things, but I might have to say like Tears of the Kingdom is like 2 if it's not 1. It's definitely 2.
Oh, a favorite?
Yeah. It's like really like I don't know. It's worked. I don't know. Like it definitely. I feel like I'd put like Breath of the Wild like 4 or 5 maybe. Like it was pretty high, but I was like I think after a while I was like, oh, it didn't really make that much of an impact on me, but this one really did. I think they just that's just how I feel.
It would definitely place higher overall, but I'm not sure if it placed that high just for me. I don't know. I guess I haven't really thought about it, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old school junkie, but I do like. So once again, growing up with this guy over here across the table, Miles, who was the Zelda guy, who was like that's all he played and did.
Catchphrase. Zelda guy.
So I always like watched it from afar, but almost to a point of like, well, that's my brother's thing. I really don't want to do my brother's thing.
Yeah.
So I was very like kind of later into the party, got into Zelda. But what got me into Zelda was the narrative aspect. At least with once again with the Ocarina of Time, with you're this chosen one kind of, and this and that, and you're on this venture and journey across time, and this was this big epic adventure. And then you had the sequel, Majora's Mask, was another like crazy epic weird scenario adventure you're also on. And so that was what got me interested. And sadly with this game, there's more narrative than there was in Breath of the Wild, but as we point out multiple times in this podcast, sometimes the narrative lost its focus and point and its impact because of the open world concept. So, and what Frank suggests, I think, is a really good idea, the idea of like the first game playthrough, it's kind of make it more linear, a little bit more focus. And then on the second playthrough, we kind of expand it, remix it, shuffle the cards. Yeah. And that way it has more replay value.
Like a Master Quest version. Or something
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I like that idea, but like thinking of it like as one full story. I don't know how you would do that. Where like the beginning is linear,
yes,
and then it's open after, but it's still like one story.
Right. We could do. I see some anime bullshit, some time loops we have to break out of, perhaps.
Well, if they allowed Zelda to be playable, they could do that.
Wait,
her story was the linear one, and then
that's a possibility.
I just thought it's in my head right now. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Frank and Ray. So in Fire Emblem, there's a time skip, right? Like most of those games, there's like a.
I think the newer ones, most of them.
More in the newer games, yes.
So what if like we do like game a certain way, then time skip to like the future, whatnot, and then here's the open world concept for a Zelda game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if the Fire Emblem. I mean, it's a time skip.
Well, because there's only one in my head. I think.
Right. I mean, Naruto, One Piece, everything's got a time skip.
I'll try something. Sorry, Andy's here, trying to make it a little more. More Andy friendly.
Video games. This is true.
What's anime?
What's a One Piece? Huh? What? I already played it already, but I played it again. Though. Just like my favorite Japanese. Anyway. But yeah, sure, that could work. I feel it, but I think but how would you do, because it's almost like two different things, right?
Yeah.
Unless you'd have to make the world and you have to do something. I mean, you would have to do something kind of like in this game comparing to Breath of the Wild, right? Where something has to champ and to change the landscape to a certain degree, right?
Right. Yeah.
So it's possible, I guess.
Okay, so I got a good idea now.
Okay.
So what if we like do Ocarina of Time, right?
Uh-huh.
In which you play as young Link, and the young Link part pretty much pretty much plays like normal Zelda, like Ocarina of Time, right? Going around, and you can still don't know for 7 years. Wake up as an older Link, and now the world's open up. You don't know. There's more. You have to explore the world because the world's changed since you've been in the Temple of Time for 7 years, right? And things are different. Things that used to never as a kid. There's a lot more hard transversal, or the world's messed up, whatever. So you can't do things you knew as a kid because there was an element, we try to say the Spirit Temple, right?
Well, I was just gonna say, well, haven't we already done this technically already?
But we expanded, right? You expanded that, things you could,
All right. Well, but that's just basically the same.
Yeah,
that's what happens in that game.
I get what you're saying, but it's hard to like make it not just.
Well,
I see what you're saying.
I see the Ocarina of Time as an example because you guys,
Right.
we all play Ocarina of Time, I guess.
Yeah.
But that comes like you play like a certain part,
right? And you have to, and then reshuffle the cards. I can kind of see it.
Yeah,
but we have to do a little bit more than just that, I guess.
But constantly, that's how you break up to. You do have one part a certain way and another part
a different way.
Yeah.
I mean, you made me think of something right now that you said that. You know how some games have alternate endings, and if they ever redid Ocarina of Time, same thing, but just have the option of like, okay, if you said this, you're gonna get this ending, and it's the endings that they talk about in the and then like, if you get the one where Link loses, have it be a different fight, like why he loses. Like, damn, Ganon was so overpowered in this one,
right?
Or
be interesting.
I don't know. It's just
that'd be interesting. The problem is, it's always none of these people want to like sit down and write all these different scenarios.
Damn these people.
Pretty much, because I see it all the time with my visual novels and my Mass Effect games where your decisions matter, but then you really look in the script behind the script, you're like, that's basically I'm stuck on rails the whole time.
Mass Effect.
Massive, yeah. I mean, at least they try, but I mean, there's like a lot, like the Telltale. There it is. That one's like the worst one when you play it the second time through. And what was the Until Dawn was definitely one of the worst ones. Where when you go back and play it a second time, it's like, ooh, this game was not designed to play more than once. It makes no sense if you play more than once.
Play with your friends.
Yes, and I guess they did. Yeah, they just shuffle the card with the newer versions of those games. I haven't played them yet. But that first one was a little rough in that regard.
So I wanted to ask. I guess I meant to ask Frank
Finally me.
about because we were kind of doing it like in order. I figured we could just continue. If you where do you rank Tears of the Kingdom? If you did like a ranking thing
below Breath of the Wild.
Oh, you like Breath of the Wild better?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's interesting.
I thought it was more polished. I think this one was a little bit cut and paste. And I thought you could cheat less easier in that one.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was more cinematic in certain spots. But the ending was better in this one. But if you wanted me to rank it overall, Link to the Past first, Wind Waker second, probably Skyward Sword third.
Oh, really? That high? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I like that one a lot. And then Ocarina of Time maybe 4. Actually, Minish Cap third, and then bump.
I want to play that now that it's on the online network.
And
sign up on Nintendo.com.
Today's sponsor,
Nintendo.
And then 5th would be Link Between Worlds. Yeah, it's probably like 8 or 10.
Wow,
so it's back.
But I mean, you like Zelda games a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
low is still pretty good.
Actually, I think I would put it above, because the story is better in Ocarina of Time, but I think I enjoyed playing these games better, even though the story is not the strong point.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, I know Ocarina of Time is like the most famous one, but for me,
it's everyone's.
It's like, to me, Ocarina of Time, it's probably a bad comparison, but to me, it's like Dragon Ball Z, where it got everything started, and it was very fun at first, but then, other stuff came out, and I like that more, and then it's a tough play to play again. because I go back and yeah, I would enjoy it, but it's just hard to play old games. They get clunky, and it's kind of like, oh, come on, you can't dodge. What's going on?
Right. That's
So
true.
it's kind of a harsh criticism because if you remade it again, they can make it so good, and it still has those great elements.
Mhm.
But trying to be objective and then not because I really have love for the other ones. So I mean, not because it's my opinion. And then,
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would rank it somewhere between 8, around there. But yeah,
Cool.
It's good, and I mean, I'm not saying still think people should play it, but
Yeah.
just,
No.
play Link to the Past too.
There you go. Play the classics.
I guess.
All right. Is that anyone else? Anyone else got any thoughts? Opinions you haven't
Is it my turn?
expressed?
Is my turn
you
to
wanna-
rank them real quick?
Oh
Do
yeah,
you?
go ahead.
So obviously for me, I kind of like our number one for me will be Link's Awakening because that's the one I played first.
Oh, see, I always forget about
the
Link's
Switch-
Awakening
the
and how
Switch
good
one.
that.
No,
Got
that's the one because we didn't have anything else. That's the one to me. Like it's always more special because that's the one I played countless hours.
That one I like the music.
Bought the
That one's
DX
just-
version.
Yeah.
Bought a version came afterwards. Bought the
Mm-hmm.
Switch version.
That game has the weirdness of like a Zelda universe that I really like. I like it when it gets like a little weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's fine if the game actually ran. But to me, this game's probably good, like number 5. I still think it does a lot. It does touch a lot of the Majora's Mask kind of vibes. It does kind of touch like this is kind of spooky here,
Mm-hmm.
especially when in outtakes like you see the people react to Princess Zelda's here, but she kind of acting kind of weird.
Oh yeah.
Without knowing what's going on, once you know what's going on, you go, this is kind of silly.
Oh yeah, I wanted to
But, like,
put a pin in that. I wanted to mention that.
Yeah, but the fact that it's like, she's here still, but she's kind of going around spooking the horses. And,
Yeah.
And she said she heard a noise like Princess Zelda, but it's in a well. I don't know what it is. There are a lot of more spooky elements, but they just did nothing with it. Because is she here? Is she not there? But turn out but there was a lot of that vibes to it. And this is a better, more polished version of Breath of the Wild because it does Breath of the Wild a little bit better. With fusion mechanics. Every item you get has a purpose. The dungeon, overall the shrines are a lot better than the Breath of the Wild shrines. Because a lot of Breath of the Wild shrines
We have like the opposite opinion.
Oh no, I agree. I like doing the shrines a lot more in this one.
Because the Breath of the Wild shrines were pretty much here, do post controls here. Try to, you try to have to balance this thing to get to.
Yeah, I do. I forgot about those.
Cool.
It's like, and like a lot of puzzles were a lot like here. Hold the game, the switch a certain way. You got to rotate it around. To solve the puzzle.
I forgot about that. I hated those. I like burned those from my brain. Those were like the worst.
And the best part, because if you're people like me who got all the shrines in that game, and like, cool, congrats.
I feel like in Breath of the Wild, there were like more quests where it's like, get me 50 this thing. I felt like I saw that a lot more, and I didn't really see that in this one. Like, I think they were like more annoying quests, side quests, I think. Whereas like, there was like one that was like, get me like 100 rush rooms. And I was like, that's stupid. I mean, I did it, but I was like, this wasn't like,
so
I mean, I did it.
Where's those mushrooms?
But
Be right
I
back.
like didn't have fun doing it. But the game was like, do this. I said, okay, fine.
Maybe we could convince you to do something for us.
The only thing I do like Breath of the Wild compared to Tears of the Kingdom is the fact that when you upgrade your clothes, you don't have to pay money. Because I know Tears of the Kingdom's like, well, I'm sorry, that's 10 rupees right there for level 1, 50 rupees for level 2, 500, 200 for level 3, and 500 for level 5, like level 4. I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
they would
why?
get-
How am I gonna get money from this? I'm poor.
Yeah, I would just sell the diamonds and stuff.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's like my main currency.
But
Whatever I had too much
But the
of too.
diamonds have a good fusion rate, so if you fuse that with the right item, you can make it.
Right, yeah, that's why I would ration them. I would keep a lot. I would always make sure I was like, do I have 20? I was like, okay. Good.
Emergency savings account.
Yeah, kind of like it fucking matters. Yeah, nice.
Andy wanted to say something.
I was, and I feel like you found feel like you might try to point at you. I'm like hitting wires. Like you don't know I'm talking to you.
You know, you. Yes, you listener.
You.
You with the headphones on right now. Yes, you.
Finding out what the evil Princess Zelda was just like, oh, it's just that.
It was so obvious. I mean, they acted like it was a story bit, but was it?
Yeah, like that was. I was like really. I was hoping. I thought they were like alluding to some nuance because every once in a while they would actually talk about Zelda doing something nice, and then other people would be like, oh, she was being mean because it was like in that main world,
Right.
But it was like. That made me think there was like a nuance to her character. Like she was like, oh, something's like she's like back, but she's deranged.
Right.
When it's like, oh, she's just she's
Evil
nothing.
clone,
She's just
shadow clone.
Yeah, she's just nothing. It's like, oh, that was like so.
I love there's the cutscene where it explained her existence, and it's kind of like, oh shit, we forgot. We'll just put it in the cutscene. We'll put it in post. We'll put it in later. DLC. We'll fix it. Fix it, Pat. It was just like a big narrative. Like at first it was kind of a mystery, but like after like the first dungeon, it's like, well, this is no longer a mystery. Why do we keep acting like it's a mystery? It's very weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Problem is, choose your own direction.
Yeah, exactly. Which goes back to why we keep on seeing the whole story every 5 times,
because
like we've said.
Well, you're going here. Well, you got to cover that. Oh, you're going there. You got to cover that.
Perhaps this game was not mostly intended for, people as old as us.
It could. I mean, it could. It could. I would argue. You're probably right, Frank, because also we grew up with the Zelda we know and like to a certain degree. So there's a little aspect of that. But that's just me as a storyteller and a person who tries and imitates and styles and analyzes stories. It just sucks. Also, period.
Well, what I'm trying to say is like maybe their biggest target audience was like 5-year-old kids.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It definitely is.
And I know my 5-year-old niece is like, well, let's watch Bluey again because I haven't seen it enough, and they like repetitiveness.
Right, it's true.
So that's the only thing I can think
I did that
of.
with Link's Awakening all the
Or
time.
lazy, or they're just lazy.
Or it could be one of
Link's
them.
Awakening, delete the old file save. Okay, let's do this again.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Anyone else? Final comments of Tears of the Kingdom.
I kind of have something, but I don't know if I should say it now or after the podcast.
Why not?
All right.
I was just when we were thinking about like, because it never dawned on me that Calamity Ganon and Ganondorf were different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now that you guys mentioned them, like, oh yeah, kind of, they're not connected.
Not really.
Yeah.
See, and that's what I'm hoping that the one found me thought for this game is that the expansion pass maybe elaborates a little more.
You still with the expansion passes guy?
Well,
I mean, if they're gonna do something,
they're going to have to do it, right?
Do they? I think they're done with the Switch and everything involving the Switch.
Are they?
We'll see.
They're still making content for what Mario Kart 8 still, right?
Yeah, but that's Mario Kart 8. When Zelda sells stupid Mario Kart numbers.
Oh, I guess we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. I could be wrong.
Was Breath of the Wild, and I'm just leave it at that.
Well, let me finish my theory.
No.
It almost seemed to me that this is kind of like this game happened by accident, where nothing would have happened if they would have never gone down there. And that it kind of made the whole time travel loophole thing happen, and it just changed the whole timeline of things. And my recently born theory is that Calamity Ganon is from a different Ganon. So pick whichever one makes more sense, and then you know what I mean. So because there's different Ganons throughout history, like every 100 years there's a new one. So whichever one was the most recent to Breath of the Wild, that's the ghost of that Ganon. And then, so that happened, they got rid of it, went down there, found a different Ganon, and then that triggered, the whole game. But, because to me, I had it in my mind earlier, but that stone that they found in the beginning, that stone, did they keep it?
She kept it.
She kept it and brought it back to the original time where there should have been another stone of that same stone. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So is there an extra stone now or that's
well, no.
I see what you're saying.
Because she brought it back with her, so there would be 2 then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I was like. Am I not remembering something right, or is there something off here with the whole thing?
No,
Or did she change the time by taking that stone back?
Right. Right.
Watch out for the DLC to find out more.
That's just what I was thinking. That in my mind, that Calamity Ganon is from a different Ganon, and then this whole story that happened, it didn't exist before they went down there. They kind of created it by going back in time. Anyways,
It's possible.
Yeah.
Possible.
Well, I did kind of like I don't know, like a Dragon Ball Z reference, kind of like
the Trunks thing.
Yeah, the Cell. The fact that since Zelda went backwards and that there's two stones now and cause a whole different shift. So what we're seeing, the Ganon we're seeing now changed what the Ganon used to be, because now the timeline changed.
Yeah.
And no one knows what's going on.
All right, this is Android Saga Zelda.
There you go.
I'm just thinking.
Well,
Well,
okay.
case, Frank.
But who knows? They probably just didn't thought of it. To be honest.
Probably.
That'd be
Don't
so
ruin it.
if they did a thing where it was like it's like the beginning of the game is like you're fighting Ganon, it's like, oh no, he's too hard, and then all of a sudden Zelda from like the past comes and like cuts him in half, like a la Trunks, and then it's like
Oh,
and then it's
Blast
like
it with the fly.
and then it's like no, there's like a real
Triforce.
boss, like she kills Ganon.
oh,
or-
that'd be cool.
yeah, like just basically rip off Dragon Ball Z.
Did you ever watch the Mega Man cartoons where it kind of happens the same thing? Mega
Oh
Man,
no.
Mega Man is like fighting, and then the X comes and like beats him up real quick.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
That was cool too.
I wish I watched the show. It looked cool.
Hey, see, that would be
That's
see,
some
now,
decent good
now it's on my head
parts.
right now. So it would be that cooler if you play Zelda in the past. So you're
Right.
playing Zelda in the past and you're playing Link in the present, and you always got like a tangent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, we can't do that because Princess Zelda can't fight, because that would be just weird.
Yeah, I'll do it one.
I said that a
day.
little earlier.
One day they'll have the courage.
One day.
So close. We were this close, guys. We were this close. And they said
That was
no.
like one of your biggest theories, right? Going in.
Yeah, because that would
Is
been
it you or Frank or both?
I mean, that would have been cool. Everyone would be cool
Yeah,
with
that was
it.
mine.
Oh, was
But-
yours?
It was my-
Okay.
No longer, Frank. Whoever was the first, you got to be the first one.
I feel like you stole my idea.
There you go.
I said it like 10 minutes ago.
Miles made the McDonald's famous. You're no longer the McDonald's, Frank. You might have been started the McDonald's,
Oh
but
my
now
God,
Miles
man.
is the
That's-
McDonald's.
That movie bums me out. The founder.
The founder.
Uh,
Can't trust Batman.
That movie has like a crazy
if
tone change.
anything that happens that I've said in this podcast actually happens, I'm gonna be bummed. Like I'll be happy for a little bit, and then I'm like, where are my royalties? Like,
Oh, I know, right? Yeah.
We'll give you
Don't
credit
worry.
at the very end.
don't
If
worry,
you're
the
lucky.
AI
Special thanks to
the
Frank.
AI will listen to this podcast and make the story better for us.
There you go. Enhance.
well, I said all I wanted to say.
Yeah, I think
Frank's done. Andy's
think we've
done. Miles,
talked-
are you finally done?
No, one more hit. No, I'm done too.
Okay. So there it is. All our Zelda talk finally out of our systems, I think, hopefully.
Uh-huh.
At least for this week, it's going to have to suffice. And with that, I think we're going to call it quits today because I think we've got to our time period we're looking for.
Uh-huh.
And I know we have to
And,
save
uh,
energy because
Time is done because the Master Sword's done.
Master Sword's getting real low, buddy. What's the line idle now?
Yeah, Master Sword's inside the mixer right now. It's slowly losing power.
It's losing juice. So we're gonna have to save that juice for another time. So let's see here. What else do I? So next week we'll be doing our anime previews for the summer season. So look forward to that.
I know who's gonna win. It's just me.
I'll be curious to see everyone's report back
It's gonna be
after the
me.
picks. Miles. Still.
All in, baby. All in.
I mean, he literally can't get any worse, folks. He literally
Oh, yeah.
cannot. It's mathematically impossible.
I would like to hear like I don't know, like comments from the people like do they feel the same way?
Do they all agree with Frank and just want to dunk on Galaxy Next Door?
or imagine like everybody's on Miles' side. They're like,
How could you? Galaxy Next Door is a masterpiece,
Hey,
Frank.
It doesn't matter as long as the numbers go up, Frank. It does not matter who the numbers go up. It doesn't care if I'm right or you're wrong. It doesn't matter. No, the numbers go up. It's okay.
So we got that to look forward to next week. So I gotta first, before we leave, I gotta thank everyone. So thank you, Andy, for joining
Oh,
us this week.
absolutely. I had to talk about Zelda.
Gotta get the Zelda out of your
I
system.
have to.
What else? What are we? Is there anything else we're gonna play after Zelda, Andy? Anything on mind?
yeah. No, that's a great question because I was like starting at Ocarina of Time. I'm like, should I really start playing this game again? Like,
Do it.
no, I mean, but shouldn't I like do something else other than the game
Do
I
it.
played? I mean, I'm playing. I am already an adult now, so I'm like, I'm
There you
into
go.
it. I'm kind of
After all
already-
these years, you finally made it, Andy.
finally an
puberty
adult.
hit.
On the podcast and everything.
Yeah, it took me long enough. No, I don't know. I mean, I was thinking about Death Stranding. I know. I know. I gotta play something that is not a game I've already
Death
played.
Stranding
I can't
2.
take that ride.
I know. I'm so freaking. I just like what I know, I guess. But you never know if you try something new.
You know, the highway's calling.
The director's cut. The good stuff is behind there, Andy.
The highway's calling him again. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Got to build that highway. It's gonna build it.
I'll try to come up with something that's not a game that'll be my homework. Play a game that's not something I've played before at least twice or once or whatever. Death Stranding again.
I will play original game.
I really should.
Got that Steam backlog to take a peek at.
Recommend something to me right now.
Right now.
Recommend me something.
What genre?
Why is
Finish Phoenix Wright.
Why is it Orc?
I know. I should do that. I am okay. All right. Damn, you got me.
Yeah, you know
You got me.
You know what else I got for you, Andy? If
Hmm.
I could find it quick enough.
You're right though.
That's what you should do, Andy. Go play some Phoenix Wright.
I think I just started the one where he's I forgot their names, where he thinks the other lawyer shot someone on a boat or something. That's the one I'm on
the
that
big
one.
case.
All right. I should. It's like it's like reading anyway. It's like I should feel a little bit about it because I'm like, oh, it's like reading.
It's like a book.
It's like a book.
You're reading a book.
Yeah.
An anime book, a good anime book.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna do it. That's my homework.
All right. You work on that. Miles, thank you for all your insights and your deepest thoughts. And I think this is the most you ever talked on this podcast, by the way. Woo! So apparently Zelda and Miles shows up.
I'm awake. Whoa, wait, what?
Let's make the next one about Banjo-Kazooie.
He was passionate.
He was passionate today. He was awake today. Had his coffee and everything.
Since finishing the game yesterday, I'm just going to like this game. Like like your eyes are open up.
Still fresh.
You see all the. We haven't learned a lesson yet, huh? We haven't learned a lesson at all.
Not in some ways.
Some ways, perhaps. And then Frank, thank you, Frank, as always, joining us on the podcast. And I look forward to hear your talk about Slam Dunk and Berserk next time.
Right now that you were talking again, right now that you were talking to Miles and that I mentioned that I would like to hear from the people. And now that you mentioned Slam Dunk, I was just daydreaming right now because you know the part where they're playing basketball games, or even when they're not playing basketball, there's these girls, they're all just like Rukawa,
oh,
Lopee, Rukawa.
Yes.
And I just imagine that there's a cheer squad for Miles, like Miles, and they're like, how dare you say anything bad about Miles?
Very nice show. Idols, there's nothing wrong with idol shows, all right? Everyone likes an idol show.
Yeah. I don't know why, but now I feel personally attacked now.
It's just like, I kind of want that to happen.
We can work on it. We can make this happen, Frank.
Yeah, but
we can make this happen.
What was I supposed to say?
I don't know.
Goodbye.
I'll play 16.
Ideally, goodbye, but oh well. There we go.
Hopefully, the next time I can talk about me finishing Final Fantasy 16.
Andy, that's a lot of fun. You're a busy man, Frank. You're a busy man.
Yeah.
Credit to you. All right, I think that's it for us, folks. So, sayonara. Thanks. Goodbye. Adios. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah.